I ain't mad at it.
All right, what up? Week
Authentic.
4. Week freaking 4. Guys, we are damn near about to be a quarter way through the season.
Hey,
this is quite sad.
Damn near
About there already.
Why you set it up like that? I was excited.
Football season just started.
It just started, but I
came
feel
in
like
with the energy and then brought the energy down. You see what I'm saying?
See,
I'm just saying.
All your folks doing like the games this week. You set that precedent
Well,
for
not
everybody.
many people like the games this week anyway. I mean, who's really looking forward to watching Broncos Bears? Like, I'm just saying.
I thought you were about to say football. I'm gonna let y'all talk that out. I'm very excited for that.
We're about to get into good football.
Oh,
That's what I'm excited about. We're about to get into good football.
when it really matters.
Like, all right, we're 4 weeks in. This is when teams start. They should start getting things together, figuring out who they are. Like, we should be getting it. The ugly football should be behind us.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, but before we even get started with that, of course, we got to introduce ourselves for those who haven't met us before. I am Cordell.
Marcus.
I'm E-Rob. Carolina, get at me. No. Introduce yourself.
Come on.
That's crazy. I've never. I'm rebranding myself as Deuce. They call me Deuce now.
They call you Deuce now. Well, what did they call you before?
Who calls you Deuce?
Who? Okay.
Why?
Mr. Steve. He might check the balanced audio. That's for you. You have to figure that out.
Who calls you Deuce?
Hey, shout out Harrison Fant, my guy.
Have
you heard anyone call him Deuce?
No.
Who calls you Deuce?
So
Is a back home thing?
No, I'm
Must
just
be.
in screening.
No one calls you.
all right.
Hey, I don't know.
You can call me what you want. I'm just saying that's on my
No.
list of names that I'm called. So you
I'd
can call
rather
me
you be
Deuce.
called that instead of Eric.
All right. So enough with the foolery.
Give my name back.
Let's get into this. But before we get into this, please, if you're watching this, if it's your first time, please like and subscribe.
Alright,
If
let's
this
start.
isn't your first time,
Please.
go ahead and like
Hit
and
that subscribe button,
I'm
please.
on my
Whatever
knees.
that look like for you.
I'm on my knees.
I mean, we
P-A-U-S-E.
I don't know what that means.
Pause.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
this is your fault somehow.
We got the energy. If you love the energy, stay with us.
Stay with it.
But definitely, we
not
do
gonna get
our shows. We do a recording on Wednesday that always goes out on Thursday before Thursday Night Football. So we will do a recap. So just in case some news should break on Thursday, and you're like, "Why are you guys behind?" It's because we recorded this on Wednesday, and of course we go live every Monday at an hour and 15 minutes before Monday Night Football.
All right.
So yes, thank you guys for being here. So let's go ahead. Week 4, we're here. I always like to start and keep the energy high. So I'm gonna go ahead and start A block. Falcons at Jags.
Oh,
Man.
alrighty.
Falcons at Jags. Now let's set this up. Frame this properly. We have a Falcons team that has impressed through 3 weeks. I don't think anybody would have said that they would have been 2-1.
Oh, say
coming
that
into-
one more time. They did what?
They have impressed through 3 weeks. Nobody would have thought that they would be 2-1 after 3. Is what I'm saying.
I absolutely picked them to be 2-1 after 3 games. But
Did you?
just so
Did you pick us?
I did not.
You thought it was gonna be 0-3?
No, maybe 1 and 2.
But you
1
had
and 2.
you had Bryce Young
Jerk.
week 1. Who you had week 2?
Jordan Love.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna lose that game.
Oh.
Right. So okay.
I think was it after the? I think it was after. No, it wasn't after the package injuries. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's on one side. They are coming off a loss, double-digit loss to the Lions. On the other side, we have a team that had high expectations and has not met any of them at all. This is a 9:30 a.m. kickoff, Sunday morning.
Eastern Standard Time.
London.
And one dude.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess is this their home game?
It's their technical home
Is
game.
their home game?
You know, we
Yeah.
getting fish and chips after the game.
So all right, I'm gonna let my
The
Falcons
league love
people
doing the job.
go ahead, take the wheel.
I got it. So, you know what? We're going to come into this game. We haven't played this game against the Jaguars. It's been a few years. Last time Kyle Pitts got his touchdown, you know what I'm saying, in the London, on the Barbie, whatever you want to call it. But he got the touchdown in the back of the end
I
zone.
forgot Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown.
It is Australia, but, you know, Australia, London, you know, kind of the same thing.
Same thing, right?
Colonized, whatever,
Right.
whatever.
Right,
But anyways.
We a
so-
football podcast, not a history podcast.
Of course,
Just don't
of course,
listen to him
of
for
course.
anything other than
Go
football.
ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
all right.
Someone fell asleep.
So anyways-
Social studies.
Anyways, y'all didn't learn for real. But anyways, So,
all right, on the Bobby.
I love how we both teams are coming off of losses in week 3. But I think one of the good things about us is we have been tested being against the Packers at home. We came back after being down double digits. We came back, won the game. I love that. I love how our defense stepped up in the end. Love how the offense showed up with Desmond Ridder in that game. We didn't have the same type of performance offensively against the Lions, but I think it'll be cleaned up. We missed a few shots. We didn't get it off because of pass protection, but I'm okay with that because I feel that we have the necessary ability in order to beat the Jags. I love the way the offensive line has played run blocking wise. Like the receivers have caught the ball. I like the way we've run the ball, which we've been doing for a while. And honestly, defensively, Jesse Bates, I think he's been the best part of our defense so far, and I think we beat the Jags.
So what are the keys to this game?
The keys are going to be, can we run the football, which is big. Can we get Bijan and Tyler Algier going early to be able to put this Jag defense, for one, on the sideline, or keep the Jags offense on the sideline, should I say. And then for 2, I think the way Jesse Bates and our DBs have played, I think that even though we don't get pressure on the quarterback a whole lot, is much less than I want. I think Jesse Bates in the secondary can do a good job at corralling these receivers in order to force turnovers, which, the last game, I think Trevor Lawrence had 2. So I'm hoping that trend continues and we win the game.
Well, key factor in this one is the running game for the Falcons, seeing if they can get this thing going. The Jags are 7th overall in rushing defense, so it's going to be a tough task. However, surprisingly, didn't know this until I looked up the numbers, they're 27th in pass defense this year so far, which is disgusting.
It's not cute.
Maybe this is the game Desmond Ridder has one of those games.
Maybe. I hope so.
Maybe.
I mean, we saw last week. There were shots that were there.
There were shots that
There
were
were
there.
Question for
shots
y'all.
that was there.
If y'all's running game, this 7th ranked rush defense, shuts down y'all's running game, do y'all think y'all could put the ball in Desmond Ridder's hand and go win the ball game
I think this could potentially be a different outcome from last week because the Lions were a top 10 rush defense, but they're also pretty good against the pass. Even though they were missing a few starters last week, they're one of the better teams in the league in pass defense. This is a team that's giving up yards everywhere. They gave up passing yards to Anthony Richardson. They gave up passing yards to C.J. Stroud.
It's open season.
It's open season. So maybe this is the game. I feel that even if teams want to come in and try to shut down the run game, I mean, that's a tall task. Good luck with that. I think they're still going to run the football. They're still going to be stubborn. Even if they're averaging 3.5 yards a carry, they're still going to tote the rock. Just because that's how they generate their offense. That's how they get things going. So we'll see.
So y'all not going to alter the game plan, what you're saying, essentially, to even put Desmond in that situation?
No.
Okay.
He's not a guy that I would say, yeah, we can just drop back and pass 40 times.
Right.
He's not that type of guy. But I think as long as we're able to run the ball, even if we don't run it as efficiently as we usually do, the fact of being able to say, hey, we can still use play action because they have to respect the run, just gives us more ability to be able to say, hey, we can get these guys a one-on-one and we can make some shake.
He had 38 pass attempts last week against Detroit, something I don't recommend. However, I mean, he didn't have any turnovers. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, it was a ton of pass attempts, but he didn't put the team in awkward situations. So I'd rather see that number down to the mid-20s and run that football, man. Let's get this thing
like we said, shots were there. People were open.
They had one
Either just missed it,
They had one
or it's just the pressure.
He had no time to
Yeah,
throw.
the pressure was just so much that it's just like he had no time to throw it.
Yep.
But as long as we have those things, which I feel like we can do against the Jaguars, we'll be all right.
I'm glad that y'all are here to handle the Falcons, make sure they get the love that they deserve for the Jaguars.
Both of you guys are very complimentary today. This is lovely.
Oh, I got nothing bad to say about y'all.
Surprisingly.
I don't ever have anything bad to say. It's only when you
Bull.
elevate certain
Bull.
players to tiers in which
Hey.
they can hear you from sitting back, bruh.
I ain't doing
Anyway, the Jaguars, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what their record is. I didn't get a chance to look at the numbers. You're doing a great job of what.
The Jaguars are 1-2.
No. I'm talking about when they play in London, since that's what they do. their year.
Oh,
They
oh,
have
yeah.
a winning
Over-
record in
over-
London.
They do?
Yeah. They play. A lot of teams don't play well in London. They're used to it.
Yeah,
They-
they-
they're
Is
always
there
the
Denver
one in
there?
London.
Yeah,
I wonder if
they've
they're-
been doing it the most often.
Yeah, I wonder if they're tops in the league in London games.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure they
easy.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy.
Because I mean, it's usually them and somebody
That's why
else
they have.
Well, I mean, they are the closest.
They have two
arguably.
games. They have 2 games in London
every year.
Right.
So.
I don't know what happened to the Jaguars' passing offense. I was expecting Trevor Lawrence to average more than 250 yards per game passing. I was thinking they was going being Calvin Ridley here. Boom. Christian Kirk. You seen Christian Kirk game 2 at 100 yards, 11 catches. He's capable of finding multiple dudes. Travis Etienne was toting that thing a little bit over the weekend. Had over 100 yards. I don't know what the problem is. It really it doesn't sit right in my spirit.
One issue is Calvin Ridley leads the league in drops. That is one issue for sure. They're trying to force feed Calvin as well,
I mean,
which
it worked in week 1, but
it hasn't since. So
And the one thing that you have to understand is I feel
Supposed to be
like
a 1.
chemistry is a big thing, and also I think that like finding ways to be like, hey, like we have 2 wide receivers that we want to get the ball, and Kirk and Ridley, but it's just like how do you find ways to get them both the ball without force feeding just one
Right.
the whole game? Because that's kind of how it was in the first game. The force filled Kevin Ridley. Christian Kirk had 1 catch. Then Christian Kirk has 10 plus catches. Calvin Ridley has 2.
Yep.
Then it comes to game 3, and they're trying to do a little bit of both, but it just doesn't sync well. So they just gotta get in the mood of saying, hey, like how can we get the offense rolling with both guys producing the way we want them to? And Trevor Lawrence being Trevor Lawrence and not turn the ball over, which he did last game.
So this is your example team, essentially, for your week 4 theory of getting the ugly play out and starting to figure it out. This is about that time.
If they're
do
gonna
that.
figure it out, then yes, the month of October is because by the time you get to November is when you want to start playing your actual best football.
Can they figure it out next week?
So,
I hope.
I mean,
I'd rather for them.
You can
well,
speak that over that
it's.
one.
I never think it's a click of a switch where all of a sudden it just shines. I feel like it's like, oh, you see it starting to slowly come through. So I don't think they're about to go off on you guys. For me, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, they should be running the same offense that they ran last year. Like pretend Ridley wasn't there, and then just throw him in. Like Christian Kirk should still get everything he was getting before. Now we're just the other targets are getting less, and we're putting Calvin Ridley in. Like it shouldn't be a balancing thing. It should be like we're just inserting you into the system we already have, and we're gonna keep this thing stirred.
It sounds like when Odell went to the Browns. That's what. Whenever I hear a situation like that, that's exactly what
Right,
I
like
think of
that.
Baker.
That's
I've
all
never
it
seen
should
somebody
be.
get better
Is
from losing Odell.
we're already rotating this thing, and it's like, oh, now we just have somebody else in here with Christian Kirk. Like that's
Keep it
how it
simple.
should. That's how I thought they were gonna do it, so that they could complement each other.
But here's a question though: is technically they started off slow last season, so they're just doing the same thing? Is it just having a
Well,
slow
that's what I
start?
said.
And that's just kind of the team that they are. And maybe it's like kind of how you said about the Steelers a while ago, where you were just like, well, even though they had that winning streak at the end of the season, who did they really play?
Beat. Yes.
So it's just like, who did really the Jaguars beat
Ooh, good
last
question.
season?
Let's
where you're just
take
like,
a look
oh,
at
okay,
that.
like
Wow.
maybe they really did take a step, or maybe it was just well,
just bad
the
teams.
level of competition, because they did. I think they lost to the Chiefs at the end of last season before they went on the winning
That was
streak.
before
Yeah.
the winning streak. Yep.
So it's just like, was it just
They lost to Carson Wentz too.
Competition.
Week 1, he had a little comeback.
so?
His
you
best
know?
moment as a commander.
So here we go.
Well,
Here
what
we
was-
go.
what was
So
We're talking about the end of the season.
so after their bye, they
It's
had a.
just
I'll put it this way. So
crazy.
week 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, week 9. I'll put it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They went 7-2
Okay.
from week 9 throughout the rest of the season.
That's lovely.
That
They
really
beat the Raiders.
Okay.
Then they lost to Kansas City.
Okay.
Went on bye. They beat Baltimore without Lamar.
Yeah. Okay.
Then they lost to the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Then they beat, Titans, Cowboys, Jets, Houston, Titans.
Okay, so Cowboys.
So
was
Cowboys
the
is
one
their
team.
signature win
Yeah.
to round out the
And
end
we
of the
remember
season.
how that was. That was an interception that went for a touchdown to end the game.
It was in
Dak had-
overtime. Yes,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
lost and they beat them in OT.
Yep. So that was just one of those crazy games that nobody thought they would win. We ended up pulling the game because Dak threw the interception.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and besides that, their other wins that they had were against the Colts and Chargers in week 2 and 3 of the season. And they were on a nasty losing streak to the Eagles, Texans, Colts, Giants, Denver. And the Commanders beat them in week 1.
So maybe they were just a team that
I don't
they
know.
usually
It's
are.
hard to range on that, but I'm leaning right now towards Falcons in this game. Leaning towards it, but I'm weary because again it's in London and
That's true.
it's I don't know how well the Falcons will be traveling all the way out there to London. So that's.
I mean, look, we did it a few years ago. So
Yeah,
maybe
we won
can.
our last game in London.
It was against them.
That was against the Jets.
Was it against the Jets?
Well, and they're not used to going out there either. So.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll see. But I'm gonna move this thing along since we talk about teams. Let's go ahead and talk about your team. Commanders at Eagles, NFC East, undefeated. You gonna give them their first loss?
Where's the energy?
You gonna give them their first loss?
I mean, the last time
You
y'all
did
played,
last year.
what happened?
You gave
Come
them their-
on!
You
First
gave them their-
loss.
It's the
Gave them
NFC
their first
East, baby.
loss. Not the least, the beast.
Come on, can you get a bounce back?
Come on.
Can I get a bounce back?
I appreciate y'all's energy. This is gonna be an exhausting season for me.
Exhausting.
Exhausting. This
Alright,
is always how
here,
this goes.
Let me help you out.
I-
Let me help you out. So, Sam Howell, horrendous week
Wow.
3.
How?
But he
Watch
comes
additives.
right, but he
we're not
comes-
howling right now.
But
He heard that.
he comes
He's
back
howling.
week 4 against, honestly, a team that looks a little shaky.
A little shaky.
The Eagles look a little shaky. They look like they could get got.
And
And y'all could go get them. Now, you have a lot of protection schemes that you got to figure out. So that Jalen Carter and them boys
Yeah.
don't give
they
you
were-
another
those
9
are
crazy
sacks.
how
Yeah.
quickly it
You
became
know,
Jalen Carter.
Josh Sweat.
And
That's
them
crazy.
boys.
Hey, they're coming
Um,
for you.
Yeah.
Seeing
So-
that we allowed 9 sacks last week to the Bills, it just it doesn't bring me any sort of comfort to think that we can fix all of our issues in 6 days. It seemed like there was a lot going on. Maybe it's just tape. Maybe we just not good. Maybe it's one of them things where it's just week 4, everything starts to mesh. We start to figure out what plays we good at, what schemes bring out our best. But it's not encouraging. Especially like Sam Howell can make things shake occasionally. We've seen little flashes. It's not going to be a Mahomes type thing, a Josh Allen type thing, getting out the pocket every single time and avoiding every sack that all of my defensive linemen, it was in your backfield the whole time. We're not going back there. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm sorry. I got off track. That's my fault. I wasn't used to seeing that. We was right there, and he just spun out and keep going.
And you're going to have to deal with that again with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to see what we look like against the Bills because of like the
Barometer.
barometer. That's
The
a great
litmus
word.
test? Is that not what it's called?
I like barometer
Or
better,
that-
but
yeah,
that works too.
barometer, yeah.
Sure.
Measuring stick.
We love adjectives. Pronouns? No. That's what we're doing for real. We're gonna spell. We're gonna round it out.
Go ahead. Continue on.
I'm not at all
You earned
excited,
You earned that.
but NFC's football. You know how this goes. Divisional football in general. It's just one of them things. We know this team. We're gonna come ready to play against this team. I don't think we're gonna sit lightly on the loss. 34 points we took last weekend, and I'm really thinking at least they'll keep it close for a little bit. I don't know. Circle back to me. I will have more hope as the week goes on. I'm not at all excited.
Well, they ain't gonna hear that.
At least you didn't lose by 50. Anyway,
no.
to me personally,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about them.
I think this is a
Lord Jesus.
game where Eric Bieniemy is going to have to show his prowess as a play caller. Because they're going up against the Eagles defense that their defensive line can get after anybody. So he's going to have to be creative with his play calling. I know you guys are favoring running the football and getting that run game going with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, but I'm not quite sure that's going to happen this week. So I think this is where Bieniemy is going to have to come into play. Bieniemy is going to me. He's going to have to win this game. Not Sam Howell, not that front four, not anything, not Terry McLaurin or anything else. Eric Bieniemy is going to have to win this game for Washington.
At the same token, too, same question about if Desmond Ridder can shoulder the load if the running game isn't going. Sam Howell had an opportunity last week, threw 4 picks.
Yeah.
Not all of them was on him, just like with any situation. But it's one of them things we gonna have to keep testing homeboy. It's only his 4th game starting. Hopefully Eric can bring out the best in him.
Right.
Yep. I mean, I think that
I don't like your tone.
I think the front four of Washington, if they can get pressure on the Eagles' running game, I do think that will be a big help in helping them win this game.
Yep.
Just based off the fact that the Eagles are one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. They're very balanced. So if you make them,
defensive team.
but if you're able to make them one-dimensional to where they have to pass, and you get Jalen Hurts to pass 35, 40 times a game, I think that gives them the best chance of winning because you don't have to worry about the run because that front four is stuff. I think that's kind of the way it happened in the last matchup where the Commanders ended up winning the game. It's because they were able to stop the Eagles' run game. So I think that's first and foremost the key for them to win the game. You know, I think the Eagles to me are the best team in the NFC solely because with the 49ers, the one thing that we always say is they look great in the regular season, but it's like something happens in the playoffs with them, with the quarterback position, the past few years where they just can't get it done. So at this point, I'm just going to say that, well, the Eagles we know have made it to the Super Bowl, and they have been productive with Jalen Hurts. Even his first year starting, they made it to the playoffs with him, even though they lost to the Buccaneers. But it's like, okay, but Jalen Hurts still was able to play the way that we know he can play.
Right.
So with that being the case, I feel like the Eagles are the best team. So they would have to be able to take their best attribute away and be able to make them one-dimensional in order to make Jalen Hurts lose the game, which it doesn't happen often, but it's a
I
possibility.
don't know how we gonna do that. I really don't. Our rush defenses look very questionable.
But,
all year.
I mean, it's a possibility because you guys have the talent.
Sure.
You have the talent, and it's a divisional game.
We've
You never
seen
know.
it.
Hold on, I
I
need a little pushback here. I can't say the Eagles are the best team in the NFC.
I can't say that.
I cannot look at this
I can't
team
say that either.
and look at this offense. I can't. I'm not buying it. Not right now.
I would say they have the highest
They're
ceiling.
They're good.
The only
Yeah, I'm
good.
not saying they're
They're
bad.
contenders.
I just,
But I don't think they're
I
the
have
best
2
team in the
teams
NFC.
ahead of them right now. Now that could change throughout the season because it's fluid, right? But
But who would
Right
be those
now,
2 teams?
I'm still even after their loss to the Cardinals, I still think the Cowboys are better than the Eagles. Yes, I do think they're better than the Eagles. Everybody is allowed a bad game. That does not mean I'm about to just change my view.
But the Eagles haven't had a
Niners-
game like
No,
that.
The Niners have not.
I said I had 2 teams above the Eagles. It's the Cowboys and the Niners.
Okay.
And the Niners. But
The Eagles haven't.
Like,
had
okay, but like, if you look at it this way, what were the Cardinals able to do against the Cowboys? Run the football. What is the Eagles' best attribute? Running the football. At that point, you just have to assume, and this is kind of what they did in the first matchup against the Eagles anyways, is they ran the football and they neutralized Micah Parsons. The second time when the Eagles lost to the Cowboys, it was Gardner Minshew that was the starting quarterback, and the game was still close. So because of that, I'm like, yeah, the Eagles are definitely the better team because their strength is what overcomes the Cowboys' strength with their defense because their strength is getting to the quarterback. Well, if you can't get to the quarterback because you can't stop the run, it makes no difference.
so I would say with your argument and what you're saying that the Eagles are a bad matchup for the Cowboys, but I still think the Cowboys are a better team. I think they're just
With
like head to head. That's a bad matchup, right? Like,
Offensively, they have not looked great.
who?
The Cowboys.
even without Diggs.
What?
But even
Am I
without
still-
Diggs,
you're
you
still
think the
factoring
defense
in
is
not
Yeah,
still...
having
no.
Diggs?
I'm still factoring it in. I'm still thinking the.
But like the Cowboys'
are better.
offense hasn't showed you anything. At least the Eagles, they get a lot of yards, but they just don't put it into the end zone as much as you.
But they say the same thing about the Cowboys. They're saying the red zone. The issue is they don't have Schultz. They're not able to put the ball in the
Cowboys
end zone.
don't
They
have.
don't have Zeke either.
That's what the conversation. But the Cowboys don't have the same run game. Their pass games have been similar this year. So offensively, you would have to give the edge to the Eagles because the Cowboys have just scored on special teams and offense. That's what makes their points per game better. But if you take that away and just go offensive touchdowns, the Eagles got them beat in that.
I feel like it's just the ceiling. Like when we're seeing what their defense is doing and how they're hitting on their young players, and we saw AJ complaining, and they was winning. Like they were able to not really utilize their passing game, partly because it wasn't really
necessary.
But it also wasn't necessary. If they're able to, we haven't seen their pass game unlocked. I feel like when that's unlocked, these questions about their offense, about the Patriots putting up more offensive points than they did week one, technically, things of that nature, I don't think those will be a question. And we've seen they have elite playmakers at every level of their defense. I feel like their ceiling is the highest, but I don't think they're the best team right now either. I still would say it's the 49ers.
But it's every season. We always get wrapped up in how good they look.
Right now, they look better than the Eagles do.
They
put together more complete.
They do look better, but the way that I see it is the Eagles are the defending NFC champions.
So they have a higher ceiling.
And I feel like the Eagles will be more consistent when it's when it's due time.
You're projecting, but right now,
I mean, they're both 3-0.
All right.
And one team runs the ball the best.
Right. I feel like
which one is that?
I feel like you.
The Eagles.
I feel
they
like
run the ball better than the 49ers.
I feel like you're not only are you projecting, but
I
I feel as if you're going too far in the past instead of just focusing on the 3 games that we've seen on both sides right now.
But the 3 games, okay, yes. Who's been more
the
dominant?
Yes, the Niners have looked more clean, more dominant. They look more polished than the Eagles.
But who have the 49ers played?
They played Pittsburgh.
Offense terrible.
Really? And Philly is out here beating. Philly's out here beating.
And the Vikings, whose offense was good.
The defense is terrible.
Yeah, and they ran all over.
Beating the Patriots. Their offense is terrible.
There you go.
But the defense is really good.
Come on, man. What do we? You can't. The Steelers' defense is good.
You can't sit here. Defense, but they played the Giants. Like no Saquon. Like Darren Waller didn't do anything. Like it's just they didn't.
Okay.
I think the Eagles have been more tested than the 49ers.
By who?
Hold on, time out, please, real quick. Again, we always got to fact check because I'm not about to be out here looking like some fool.
Eagles are not out here beating juggernauts.
Eagles,
plum fool.
Eagles rushing yard wise, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They are 15th in yards. Eagles.
Per game.
15.
And accumulated yards in all
offense.
of these games. Like I was like, okay, which team is leading the league in rushing? They are 15th.
They're 15th in rushing or 15th in total offense?
In rushing offense.
In rushing offense.
You sure?
Okay.
Yeah, they've had 200 yards.
They're
2 straight games.
They're second in the league.
I'm like,
second in the league.
I'm sorry. I immediately went to and I thought it was already in order by that. It was.
Oh man, I'm like, bro, who's
number 2?
Who's running more
number
than
2 in
that?
the
My
league.
bad.
Hey,
They're number 2.
They're
And
number
the 49ers are number 3 right behind them. The one is averaging 4.9 yards in the Eagles, and the other is averaging 4.8 yards. So they're there. They're 2 and 3.
Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in football.
2 and 3.
Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in football.
Brock Purdy's playing better than Jalen Hurts is.
As of right now, I would still take Jalen.
But everybody,
Not taking away from the talents. I'm just saying right now, after 3 weeks, Brock Purdy is playing better football than Jalen Hurts.
And
we're still taking Jalen Hurts.
I think. Hold on, but.
So better quarterback.
Hold on.
Better receiver.
No. Better quarterback, but the other team's quarterback is making better decisions than you right now. So I don't care how good you are if you're making bad decisions. Purdy is getting the ball to the right person while we're seeing Hurts force-feeding AJ.
The person who cheers
When
for
he's-
Josh
So
Allen would
that's
know that
not a
better
bad
than
thing.
It is a bad thing when
You're not
Devontae
wrong.
is over here waiting for the ball.
Well,
Devontae had the most.
Devontae.
Devontae had the most yards in game 2.
Yeah, but then you just saw
It
Monday.
was on like 3 catches, 4 catches, something like that. But neither here nor there.
Because they were deep
Devontae.
balls. They were deep balls.
Yeah, so that's. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, Devontae's more than just a deep threat. You see some of his intermediate and he's open, but you're just ignoring him. Like those type of situations. I don't let my quarterback get away with this. So I'm not gonna let
we
Jalen
knew
get away
he
with
was
that.
going to force feed AJ. This was something that we knew about.
And people are now saying that because he's force feeding, that maybe this dust up is more than just a dust up between the two of them.
Nah.
That's also
he had to make-
out
that
there.
Jalen Hurts had to make up
Jalen
for it?
Hurts is trying to.
I mean,
I'm just putting it out there.
They're friends. He
I'm
wants to do it
just
for his
saying.
friends, but that's all
They just
right.
want to win football
That's a
games.
little. That's a little something. Just a little sprinkle, but
And the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are number one, but that's because they had that crazy.
yeah.
They had that
They are
crazy
number
game. That's an
one.
outlier. That's an outlier. It's the Eagles that are the best rushing offense.
yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
I can tell you.
They had
Yeah,
they had the
I can't
craziest
even-
outlier.
I
don't
can't
wanna-
even because I was gonna say let me
Not
look at yards
wrong.
per, but
Bro,
it's still
it
out.
doesn't make
I don't
sense.
like how
It's
you
not gonna
framed
make
that. I
sense.
really don't. And it's right.
It's
So,
not. Come on
all right.
now. We know.
Struggling offenses. I want to stick with that theme real quick
All right.
and
You're
just
still talking about the Commanders?
going into the Steelers.
Oh,
Did y'all score a
Steelers-
touchdown?
Hey,
on
to be
Sunday?
honest, yeah, we
Steelers-
definitely will be in that
My
too.
bad.
Steelers at Texans. You know,
Maybe I'm tripping.
I think that
two
see-
field goals are better than one.
No, both of those offenses actually did better.
You know how sad
Yeah,
that
that's what I
statement
was
was?
trying to get to.
That's crazy. You hear what he said?
No, I was
He
trying to
said
host.
2 field goals is better than 1.
Technically, it is.
Look,
You understand
let the
how
host man do
decrepit
his job.
a statement that's just sad. Why even make that argument? We both boo boo. That's what we saying. Go ahead.
Yes.
Right. So, two offenses that seem to. Well, I'm not going to say seem to because the Texans have been on this gradual thing. Like I've seen them get better. The Steelers just offense seemed to have come to life last week a little bit. Don't know if that was more because of the Raiders or is because they're actually coming to life. So let's have that discussion and around CJ Stroud. I don't even know if the Texan winning is an upset.
It absolutely is.
It
an
is
upset.
upset.
It is.
Absolutely.
The way that these young boys playing,
No, man.
is it?
It would be an upset, but I don't think it would be that deep.
Okay, so
I'm
when
thinking
I
it's
say
like maybe-
upset,
maybe
when
like
I
3
hear
point-
upset,
3
I'm
point favorite,
like
4
I'm
point
like
They're not
Cardinals,
close.
Cardinals, Cowboys. Like that's I'm like, oh man, that's an upset. Like this, I'm
Them
just
beating,
like,
beating the Jags was an upset.
That's fair.
That was an upset.
I think the Colts beating the Ravens is an upset. You see, like I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
you
the
want
same
to
ballpark. The Texans beating the Jags was an upset.
It was.
Nobody.
I think
picked
both
them
of
to win
those
that
was
one.
more upsetty, for sure.
I mean,
You're
look,
not wrong.
you should know it's an upset.
I don't think the Texans beating the Jags is an upset because it's divisional opponents and those things happen in division.
But still,
So like,
That's
if
how I
the
always feel
Giants
about
beat the
divisional
Eagles,
That's not an upset to me. That's how the NFC East is. Jesus. The NFC East don't make no sense.
it's still an upset.
Okay, let me put it this way: it's an upset, but it's not a surprising upset. Is that better?
Sure.
Is that better terminology?
I can work with that.
So-
Not a surprising
So
upset.
the Broncos beating the Chiefs would not be an upset to you?
No, that would be an upset
Oh
at this
my
point.
God.
It wouldn't have been before.
Nah.
Before the season started, I wouldn't have said it would be an upset.
I think
But
you have to
after
go
you
to
get
the
dropped
Raiders.
70,
But he had them go to the playoffs.
Raiders
That was
beat
right,
different. In
right.
his
I had them
mind,
going to the playoffs before the
it's
season.
different.
I wouldn't have said that was an upset. Now it's an upset.
If the Raiders beat the Chiefs, would you have that same thought process?
Yeah, that's a big upset.
That's an upset.
Yeah,
But the Giants.
but
beat
because
the Eagles.
I don't have the Steelers at that
That's
high
a little-
standard.
Oh, that's
At this
fair.
point, the Steelers.
I'm with you.
That's
Oh,
why.
That's been the closest, the closest
But
matchup
you know
in
the
terms of the
Steelers are
upset.
always at least
that we talked
500.
about.
And they still can be. I just
Yeah,
don't think it's
so-
a big surprise if the Texans come out and win this game. That's what I'm trying
It
to
wouldn't
say.
be a surprise.
It would be a surprise, yes, but I mean, honestly, it would be an upset if the Texans beat the Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah,
To me, it's not a surprise.
yeah.
I'm
I
just
wouldn't be
like,
surprised either.
It'd be an upset.
I think that I really like what CJ's doing. Tank Dell is surprising me more than anybody. I think right now I would say.
Nico Collins too.
Yep. But right now I think I think I would say that Tank Dell's the best rookie wide receiver to this point.
Jordan
that has
Addison's
shown.
been.
No, I'm not making a knock on Jordan. Love Jordan and I love Zay.
No, you love
But I'm like, yeah, like he's outshining them all right now to me. His individual performance. That's how I feel.
Quentin
I don't
over in
know.
LA got a chance.
No,
Mike
but
Williams going
Jordan
down.
Addison, his first
But-
two
Hell.
games, he had touchdowns.
I could easily sit here and also say Puka Nacua is also outshining them. Honestly, I feel like the two
Yeah,
of them are
honestly,
the ones
yeah,
outshining
That's
Yeah.
probably the answer.
all the first round
That's
draft.
that's your
Puka-
top rookie receiver right
Puka
now.
Okay,
Nacua
it
definitely
just
be the
clicked in
top.
my head.
Yeah,
It
he'd
just
be the
clicked when I
top guy.
was.
I don't know why he doesn't
Yeah.
seem like a rookie. He's absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, those
Young bull.
two to me
'Cause he
are
went to
outshining.
BYU.
No disrespect. I'm sorry, all the Cougars.
They're outshining
I'll be
all
tracking
first
y'all.
round and second round draft picks, and I don't think that either of them are first or seconds,
No.
right?
Neither
So
one,
yeah,
no.
so yeah, absolutely to me.
One number that stands out to me, and surprising, the Steelers are 30th in rushing defense.
Defense.
Rushing defense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
30th.
But to be fair, though,
30th.
Cameron Hayward has not been in the lineup.
He hasn't been, right.
And
that's
the guys that they have on their defensive line are not run stopping guys.
Yep.
They're just pass rushing guys.
so you're absolutely correct there. So I'm interested in seeing if Houston can take advantage of this. I know
With
it's a young
Damian?
team with Damian Pierce
And Davidson?
and Devin Singletary. You have
Now with Devin, Damian.
it doesn't matter. I mean, no, not even if he's just contributing. Like you have.
They've shown that they will feed Damian when it's time.
When it's
When they feel like
time.
they toting the ball,
Right.
they'll give him
They'll
25
do it.
carries. No
This
hesitation.
may be the game for them to do it. I know C.J. Stroud has been playing well so far to start the year, and he's starting to get a rhythm a little bit. But we also got to keep in mind how beat the hell that offensive line is right now, and you're going up against a premier pass rusher in T.J. Watt. So
Sacking every game.
yeah, so you and shout out to Alex Highsmith as well. Alex Highsmith, who has complimented T.J. Watt very well. So this is going to be an interesting test for Houston. Can you, as a young team, I know you want to put up points, you want to make big splash plays, you want to impress people, but as a young team, can you be mature enough to say, hey, you know what? I smell a weakness, I smell blood, and let's take advantage. That's my challenge for them this week.
It's gonna be interesting. We haven't seen it yet. This will be I won't say a very tall task. It will be a tall task. Just with thinking about the brands of said organizations,
Right.
and what that would mean for them in terms of their outlook on themselves. The Steelers typically are one who plays tough, wins in the trenches, who will beat you down, things of that nature. They're not doing that this year on either side of the ball. Najee still hasn't really got going.
Right.
Yeah, no, Jalen Warren's been definitely looked better.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just that the style of offense that they're playing in terms of blocking wise that they just can't get Najee going because it always seems like every time he gets the ball, in order for him to do anything, he has to break at least one or two tackles to even get positive yardage. Which is just like
slow, bro. Somebody on Twitter said it looked like he
running
running
with
jeans.
jeans
on, yeah.
That should never be something that's a part of your brand as a running back. That's
But
crazy.
that's the thing. I think like for him,
And some
he
denim,
needs
that's
to
crazy.
be in a system where the offensive line can actually block, so he can get ahead of steam before running.
That's
but
been an
he,
issue
he
for
can
them
never he
his
can
whole
never
career.
do that. Yeah.
So who are you guys? Are you guys all favoring Steelers?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
taking
I'm gonna go
I'm taking the
Steelers.
Steelers here because I think me personally, I think the playmaking ability on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh is going to showcase itself. I think if Houston tries to throw the ball around the yard a little bit, you got arguably the best free safety in the game just waiting back there. You know how he is when it comes to making game-changing interceptions. So
I want to believe in the Texans, but I'm thinking I'm going Steelers too.
Yeah, I think too
I
much
think
TJ
Steelers.
Watt. It's gonna get to a point where it's just like the defense is going to be the one that makes the plays for them to win the game.
All right. I think I may take the upset.
I mean, what's the
I may
likelihood
take
of a team upsetting
Might switch
two
my-
teams in a
change my
row?
mind
in
on
the
Sunday.
NFL?
I'm sure.
Steelers should win this game, in
But
theory.
I think I may take the upset. Real quick, Jags or Falcons?
Jags.
You're both taking Falcons.
Falcons.
I am leaning toward.
He just want to pick his own team. That's okay though.
I respect it.
That's
That's what you call objective.
I'm leaning. Honestly, I made the case earlier, and this is very well game capable enough for the Falcons of winning. But I think I'm gonna roll with Jacksonville on this one.
Okay. I am leaning towards Jacksonville myself because, like I said, they're familiar with being out there, so I think that'll play a little bit of a hand and the time difference and all preparation and all of that stuff. And then Commanders, Eagles. Everybody's taking Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm taking Eagles, but I think Commanders bounce back. I think they give them a fist fight for 4 quarters.
They better.
All right,
I
and then
think they do.
and
I think they
then
make it interesting.
It's in the trenches.
all right. So
Games
so
won.
far, just want to make sure.
Almost.
So Jaguars, 2 Falcons.
No,
No.
I said
He said-
Jaguars,
Jaguars.
2 Falcons.
No,
he's
he
going
said
Jags.
Oh, you're going Jags too. Oh, I'm sorry. So 3
So just
Jags
one
and a Falcon. All right, 3
Quick math,
Jags
quick
and a
math.
Falcon.
Boy, man.
He said two.
Crazy.
Everybody's taking Eagles. I'm the only one taking the Texans. You all are taking Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next game. Let's spice this up. Let's get it a little bit. Take it up a little notch.
Oh, that's not.
Ravens at Browns.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Oh, I thought he was going that
I
direction
thought-
too.
Ravens
I
and
thought
Browns.
it was
Yeah.
too.
Well, I'd have to say
little
that
spice.
obviously the Ravens won the first matchup. It was an ugly game, but they pulled it out and won the football game. I think that because this is a divisional game and
Won what first matchup? I'm sorry.
the Ravens beat the Browns.
When?
When
Oh, hey, you know what? I'm tripping. That was the Bengals. My
Yeah,
fault,
I
my
was like,
fault.
what?
Hey, no.
let's get it together,
Yeah.
guys.
My fault,
Let's
my
get it
fault.
together.
Hey, look, I'm getting too ahead of myself.
Let me frame it for you then. Ravens upset by Colts. Browns coming off a big win
Over the
against destroying the
Titans.
Titans.
Yes.
And this is in
But
Cleveland.
I was thinking
In
the week
Cleveland.
2. Yeah, I was thinking
Yes.
the week
Yeah.
2 game. That's
In
me.
Cleveland, Ravens
That-
at
that's
Browns.
me.
I-
Yes.
What you
I got
got?
some-
All right.
Look.
I got some numbers for y'all real quick. Cleveland Browns defense. First
That's what I want
in
to talk about.
first in scoring,
Yep.
first in yards per game,
Yep.
first in points per play, first in yards per play,
Yep.
first in third down conversions,
Yep.
first in opponent touchdowns per game.
Talk about it.
They are playing lights
Lights
out.
Mm-hmm.
That boy Miles
That's why I
Garrett's
think.
different.
I think the only reason why they lost to the Steelers is because the defense of the Steelers just made that many touchdowns.
They scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like they made that many plays.
The other touchdown
And
was
honestly,
a wall
and
goal.
honestly, it was really just because it's like
Crazy.
they had the tip pass that it's like it was catchable, but it just happened to
Isn't
tip up
there
interception for a
isn't there a
touchdown.
stat there that the Browns, their offense
Has
gave
given
up
up
more
more
touchdowns
touchdowns
to
than
their
their
defense this year? They've
Yes.
only given up 1 touchdown all
Yes.
year, and the Browns offense gave up 2 defensive touchdowns in their last meeting.
Yep. So I
a lost
honestly
stat.
the
That's
way
That's a
and
crazy stat.
Deshaun Watson has played his best game of his Browns career last week against the Titans.
Yes.
So the way it's trending, the Browns look like the best team in the division. And even though I had the Ravens as my pick, like I think the Browns are just even without Nick Chubb, like I think the Browns are the best team right now in the AFC North at this moment.
So just looking back, I'm like, okay, so play the Bengals. Joe Burrow was buns. Is buns. Don't know what to do with Joe right now. Like,
He's not healthy, man.
sure.
I mean, hey, when you're not
Still
healthy,
massaging that
I
calf.
mean, I know his calf is a thing, but I don't know if the calf injury is the reason that ball keeps sailing out of bounds. I
It is.
don't.
Like,
when it comes
he
back to
can't
foot,
he can't throw it deep.
You
They
can't-
hardly
you
ever
can't
do
plant,
it.
You can't plant that foot. You're basically essentially throwing off 1 foot, so it's going to sail.
I mean,
This is
Dry that
why. This is
football.
why against the
I guess,
the Rams,
I guess it depends.
against the Rams,
I
there's
know,
just a
but
bunch
you-
of quick passes.
You really don't put any type of emphasis on players being injured or playing through injury. Like
No, I
you
do.
just look at it
No, I
like
do.
Josh had the issue with his elbow
No,
last
I
year.
do.
it's Josh.
No, see, this is what he likes to do. I'm not letting him do
I'm not gonna let him do you like that.
No.
He has what we say that objectivity. That's what Cordell be executing. That's
I'm
what he
sitting
do.
here and
I'm doing
I'm the ball is going so far out of bounds and I'm like, is it really just the calf? Like,
No,
is
I
it
mean,
is it
it's
wrong
part-
for me to
it's
just
part-
question
it's
and
part
say
of-
that
it's
it's
Right, well,
part
let
of-
me
like, is that
it's
wrong?
part of-
okay, but
it's part of
let me
footwork.
ask you though. It's like, have we seen this before?
Seen what?
No, you
Him
haven't.
be this bad?
No, you haven't.
No.
It's part of.
But we
it's-
knew he was coming into the season with an injury,
Not
so you would
healthy.
have to assume
all that is part of
that the
mechanics.
injury is why he's playing so bad. Because for one, he can't go outside of the pocket and
Hold
make
on.
plays on the run.
Last year, this time, he was bums.
They weren't good last year this time.
No.
I mean, he wasn't as bad as this, but they were not winning games this time last year.
No. They started off 0-2.
Yes.
And then they went on a winning streak.
And here we are. The Bengals went 0-2, and now they just won this one.
But the difference was they was putting up yards.
They
it's
were
just
putting
they
up
were
yards.
turning the ball.
Hold on. Okay. I wasn't trying to go on a whole deep Bengals conversation.
I mean,
This is
hey man,
Ravens
you
conversation.
started saying stuff,
But
now we
were.
we had to talk.
All right. Anyways, they were buns.
Talk
He
about
was
it.
buns in that game. Steelers offense, buns. Titans, you guys think are not a good team.
No.
Right? So, when I look at those defensive numbers, I'm like, okay, I have to put that in perspective. A little bit.
But you gotta put it.
I got to put it in a little perspective.
But
of
that's
the
3
opponents
straight
they're
teams,
facing.
though.
I understand.
I do need the Titans to get Derrick Henry going.
But I'm just putting it in a little
It's really
perspective.
sad.
I'm not trying to discredit because it's hard to do in the NFL.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what you're doing.
No, I'm just not on cloud nine with you about it. I'm like, okay, let me rail this in a little bit and be like, let me look at who they played.
He do love doing that.
But see,
Hold on.
Let me look at who they played.
But he
would
Let
say-
me
but he
stay
would say
here.
but he would
Y'all
say
are
the
up here.
49ers.
I'm here.
But he would say the 49ers, and they played great. We still count them as great. So why can't
What do you mean?
the Browns defense be great?
I didn't say they were bad. All I was trying to do was rail it in from being up here to even keel.
You just want them.
I'm
To,
just
you just
trying
want them to prove it.
Are they a
Yeah,
great
down.
defense?
The,
Are they a
49ers
great
defense has already proved it to us. This
Are
is
they
the
a
first
great
time we've
defense?
seen the Browns defense be this consistent at
Yeah, like
all levels
just-
of the football.
let's
That's
like-
all.
let's
It's
just-
more. The 49ers have
let's
proven that
time.
they are doing this against good teams, bad teams. They just look like
this
themselves.
this is
the
nothing
new
new
Browns.
for the 49ers. I've never seen this, and then so I have to look at who they're doing it against. So I'm just like, okay, it's looking good. I'm loving what I'm seeing, but I'm also like, okay, I'm a little
okay.
weary. Let's see it when we
You didn't-
face
you
more
didn't-
high-powered teams.
You didn't do that with the Texans, but
Do
it
what
is
with the
it is.
Texans?
You didn't bring it down a notch with the Texans, even though their wins have come against the Colts and the Jags. They haven't really.
No, they only won one.
I'm
game.
not
They
always.
lost to
I'm
the
not.
Colts.
got
They
the
lost to the
Jags.
Colts.
But
I'm
you're already at a point where you're ready to pick them early in the season against Pittsburgh.
It's because I don't like Steelers' offense. It has more to do with what's wrong with the Steelers than it has to do with what's wrong with the Texans.
He did
I
say
don't
that,
like
yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
He has said that many times.
That's what I don't believe
There's
in.
a lot of quarterbacks.
All right. Okay.
So
Cordell has a very narrow framing for what an elite player is.
Yes.
Everybody else
yes, I
is-
do.
Yes.
Yes, I do. I have a standard.
Yes.
The standard is the standard here.
Yes.
so
According to
Kept
him,
it consistent.
there's
But-
only like 4 elite players in the league,
so
maybe 5.
anyways,
Not Josh.
Damn. Why you do him like that? Josh not elite?
so
The
Browns.
I'm going with the Browns here. I know
I
you're
didn't
trying.
get a chance to finish.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead then.
I'm also going with the Browns here,
Okay.
where I was gonna go anyway. I was just trying to rail it in because I don't like what's going on with Baltimore's offense. Like I don't like what I'm seeing, and I don't think that offense is going to be able to be productive against the Browns defense. And this will be the signature win for the Browns.
I'm not necessarily in love with anything that the Ravens are doing right now. Like it's hard to truly get behind them fully. So it's what the Browns have done defensively is very impressive. Regardless of opponent, I have to give the team some type of credit to be tops in the league in that many statistical categories. We're not talking just scoring and total. We're talking about you can't run on them, you can't have any yards per play, you can't score on them, you can't convert third downs on, you can't do anything against this defense right now, and they are rolling. So I have to give them some credit. I got to go with the Browns here. This is definitely going to be one of those old school AFC North just ugly games where it's like the scoring. The scoring might be like 11-8. Like it's gonna be disgusting. It's just it's I feel it.
To be honest,
Both their offense buns. That's crazy.
with the defense that they have right now, if Deshaun Watson was able to get that offense to where the Texans were in 2020, they'd be the best team in the NFL.
It's not.
It's a little lofty, but
It's lofty.
I will say
but
this: if the Browns win this game,
that would be
I'm
a tough team to beat.
They'd be a tough team to beat.
If the Browns win this game, I'm comfortable with saying that they're the best team of the AFC North.
Yeah.
you're giving that crown to who now?
What do you mean?
You said if they win, you're so.
They'd give
So
it-
who do you
Oh, it's the
feel? Who do
Ravens.
you feel? You feel
I
the
the
Ravens?
Ravens.
are?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's looking like the Ravens gonna get Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum back.
They need them.
They're definitely gonna need them.
Yes.
Rashad Bateman and Odell still didn't practice today. So if it's just Zay and Mark Andrews out there
And Aguilar.
and Aguilar, I don't like
Put a
Aguilar.
little
Can't forget
respect
him.
on his name.
You're absolutely
He's
right.
been productive.
Caught a touchdown. He's doing what he needs to do. I want to pick the Ravens. I definitely feel like this is a game that they just kind of win. Like it's not. It's just.
Yeah, this would be a
but-
Ravens game to win.
But the Browns are
but
different.
The Browns are just a little.
If
They're a
the
little different.
Ravens win this game, it's because Lamar decided to put his Superman cape on.
That's what.
For sure.
That's
fair.
That's
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's how they usually win games like this.
Yeah, but we haven't seen the cape in a minute,
Right.
and then maybe because he
No,
hasn't
we
100
saw it in
yards?
game 2 against the Bengals.
He did have a good game.
He had a good
Yeah, but
game.
he didn't need to rescue
But
the
it's
team.
different. It's he's talking about just,
Like, because he led the team. He didn't have to, like.
Yeah, but it wasn't like all on him. Like the defense did what they did against Buns Bengals.
You're talking
So
about
I'm saying,
like him making plays
deep-
in the fourth quarter.
Like
to
it
win.
has to be him. Like there's
Yeah.
no other choice. Like you got to go do it.
Yeah.
The defense ain't helping you out.
Yeah.
You got to go out here, Lamar, and get this
Yeah,
done.
you
There's a
gotta do it
one-man
yourself.
band.
Yeah, you got to go do
I
it.
can see it.
Like,
I'll
that's
probably
how-
go
like,
Browns
you-
right now. As
You
well.
you'll just have Myles Garrett chasing him around, and they just can't get him down, and he's getting the ball out and getting extra yards. Like
Okay.
that is what will have to happen for them to win this game. I feel like.
That's fair.
I got Browns though.
All right, real quick because we are starting to run out of time, getting close to it. I want to get into real quick 0-3 teams:
Ugh.
Vikings, Panthers, Broncos, Bears. Which team has the best chance of getting their first dub?
Vikings.
Talk about poverty.
Vikings.
Who the Vikings play?
Vikings at Panthers, Broncos at Bears.
Oh.
Talk about
They're both. It's 0-3. Yeah.
No,
Poverty.
I don't
So-
think Bryce Young's playing again.
poverty. No, actually, he practiced full today.
He practiced,
He
but
practiced full.
they might save him.
Reich has publicly stated that he's on track to play to start.
Really?
Yeah, week 4.
Yes.
He's on
So,
track.
There's even more Vikings.
Vikings,
I might say the Broncos.
Broncos
I think I slipped
at
there.
Bears. Okay.
At Bears, I think when you fall back on, it's the coach and the quarterback got to get it together, and I feel like the Panthers low key are one of those teams, just like with the Texans, just on a lower scale, slowly kind of getting a little better. They playing teams tougher. They play the Seahawks tough. I don't know. I can see them upsetting the Vikings. I'm gonna go Broncos.
Is it possible we have 2 ties this week?
No.
I wish. 'Cause I will lean in that direction than picking a
Wow,
winner.
that's
crazy.
Yeah, really.
2 ties.
Ties. Hey, but put a parlay on that.
Hey, that's probably bread.
That is bread.
Oh, for sure.
That's good money. Man, if I had to pick a team, Jesus Christ.
You got a 25% chance.
You know, I
of
bring
getting it
Jesus in.
I do need to bring Jesus with these 4 teams.
I mean,
I need to.
the
Vikings.
Vikings have had a one-score
Vikings.
game in all their games. They've all been close.
Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings, but not close behind. And I'm probably going to take the Broncos, followed by the Bears, followed by the Panthers. That would be my order of
God.
best chance to worst
This is
chance.
gross.
I think the Panthers have the worst chance of getting out of there with
This
the
is
dub.
nasty.
That's all right.
All right, cool. So now we got 12 minutes. 12 minutes for you guys to tell me why the Dolphins are going to beat the Bills.
Here he goes.
No.
You were doing good. I can't even mad at that. Go ahead.
So, why the Dolphins are going to beat the Bills? Where do I start?
Well, I guess let's start
We
with
should-
framing. Let's start with framing. The Bills are coming off of a 37-3 dub
Right.
over the Bears.
right,
The Dolphins coming off a 50-point victory over the Broncos.
Correct.
Historical looking offense, most yards per play since the Rams.
Correct.
Won the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Falcon them boys.
Correct.
You got the Bills who have been slowly putting together a complete team. Got their defense back. Got their safeties. And they got to start rookies against them and all that. Cordell got some screenshots probably to show y'all at some point to show what the Bills defense looked like when they played Tua last time.
I know you may not agree, but I feel like that was like one of the more well-rounded Bills wins that I've seen in a little while.
Which one? This one that just happened?
This one this past week. You may not agree,
I think the one before that,
but
their game before that against the Raiders, would be my more well-rounded.
I don't think.
The offense and defense played. I know the defense played phenomenal here, but like the Raiders game, they got turnovers, but the offense was also doing they were both
But the Commanders' defense is good.
doing things. I understand.
There.
I was just saying for that, but carry on.
Finish your
We
point.
held until we couldn't.
He's done framing.
So,
so.
It's on you,
So
big
we all
dog.
do too.
It's one of the things. The Bills are the king of the hill right now.
I mean, I'll say this: this is not going to be an easy matchup on either side.
Guarding Tyreek?
Guys, I'm letting you guys talk. I don't know
This is
I was throwing
this
it
is
out there. It was a general question.
this is
Right.
this is a easy this is a matchup that is
Bill Belichick held him to 40 yards.
it's a heavyweight fight, man. This is the main event on the card. You got two teams that are good on both sides of the ball to a certain extent for one of them. I'm speaking on the Dolphins. That Dolphins defense is not as good as Buffalo's, but I've seen them make enough plays in critical moments to, get out with a win. We saw it against the Chargers in Week 1. That defense didn't do anything for literally the last drive of the game. Then that defensive line finally showed up and they closed it out. If the Dolphins win, it's going to be because of that offense. Tua, Tyreek. If they get Jalen Waddle back, even better. But that offense is rolling right now. There's playmakers everywhere. There's speed everywhere. And it's one of those things where I'm like, man, it's hard to find a weakness in this offense. I'm sure you can.
He said something, if the Dolphins win, it's gonna be because of their offense. No shit, it's gonna be because of their offense.
Well, I'm saying like no, but I'm saying it's going to be because of like they're in such of a rhythm right now that it doesn't matter how they attack, how they score. They're going to score. They're going to put up yards. They're going to put up points. How many points? I don't know, but neither team is going to blow the other out. This is going to be a 4-quarter game. To me, I'm looking at it this way. First quarterback that makes a mistake. First quarterback.
Just one mistake.
First quarterback that makes a mistake. I think that puts that team behind the 8 ball, and eventually they'll lose. So if Josh can stay scot-free, and that mistake comes in the fourth quarter, where it's like, oh, he fumbled late in the red zone, and it's, oh man, like come on, like it's one of those. Tua as well. Tua can play great, but Tua had that one turnover where I'm like, Tua, what are you looking at? That may be costly. So I'm looking at it that way. I think both of these teams have great offenses, good, really, really great quarterbacks. I'm looking at it like I think either one of them can find a rhythm offensively. And I'm thinking first offense that makes a mistake is probably going to lose.
In the last regular season game y'all played, Josh Allen had 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, over 300 yards. Tua had 234, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh led them in rushing as well. In the game, the first game, let me get to the first game.
Doing the work for me.
I'm doing the work for you. Go ahead. I'll lay it out for you. You go ahead and start talking. I'm gonna pull it up.
No. I don't want to be interrupted. That's why I'm letting everybody get it out your
That sounds
system.
about right.
So Marcus,
I never
or
know.
you, whichever one of y'all want to go.
Go ahead, please.
Yep, so I think that this game will be won off the line of scrimmage. I think that the Dolphins, what they need to do, and it's imperative for them to do, is that offensive line who's only given up 1 sack this whole year, they have to be able to keep protecting Tua and getting the ball out of his hands to where the defensive line can't put that pressure on him. Obviously, the 9 sacks that they had on the Commanders was a lot. They got a lot of pressure on Jimmy G. I mean, honestly, they even got a lot of pressure in the Jets game, but they just didn't sack the quarterback as much as they would have wanted to.
Right.
But, at the end of the day, I think that them not being able to get pressure will also help the Dolphins run the football, which is what they've been good at for the past 2 games against the Patriots and against the Broncos. That was crazy. That's why they're number 1 in the NFL right now. But if they're able to do those things and neutralize that pressure, I think it will become it's just an offensive game. And at that point, I think the best offense is the Dolphins, and I think they'll just outscore the Bills because I don't think the secondary will be able to hold up without a good pass rush. It's just not happening. This team is just too fast for teams to hold up with a one-on-one. So whoever wins that game, that will be the basis. And then obviously for the Bills, their keys to the game is literally just not turn the ball over. I think as long as they don't turn the ball over, even if, Josh, I feel like when he feels the game is on his shoulders and he has to do everything, there are going to be times where he just forces things too much, and we saw that. Even though it was an irregularity in the first game, it did happen, and we've seen it from time to time from Josh. If that does happen, that would also lead the Bills to lose that game. So, who I would pick, it would be a toss-up for me. But because the Dolphins have been so great, I will choose the Dolphins. And, hey, if the Bills win, get up to them, but it's a coin toss. But that's how. And then honestly, whoever wins this game will have a stronghold in the division, because if the Bills win, then they'll have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins until that last week of the season. But if the Dolphins win, not only will the Bills have 2 division losses with the Jets and the Miami, but there'll also be 2 games up on the Bills, which would, that just always sometimes it's a hard thing to come back from, especially with 2 great teams.
The Dolphins have never lit the Bills up for real. Like the last 2 times, Tua had 186 the first game, 1 touchdown. They couldn't really run the ball well. Tyreek only had 2 catches for 33 yards. And then in the second game, I just read you the numbers. Same thing. Tyreek had more catches but only 69
But this
yards.
offense...
And that wasn't against their starters.
Because they're able to run the football.
But this offense looks different because, yes, they can run the football.
Real quick.
In their loss, had over 100 yards, 133 yards, something like that.
Real quick, for me, winner of this game, it's best team in the AFC. That's on the line. That's on the line for me. That's for me. You guys don't have to agree, but for me, winner of this game is the best team in the AFC.
So
I don't believe that. Carry on.
You don't believe what?
Oh, that's all. That's all I have to say.
Because it feels like the Bills don't win. If the Bills win, then they won't be the best in the AFC.
I'm taking the Bills. I need to see the Dolphins do it against them one time. I feel like every time we have gone through this particular matchup, Tua hasn't made mistakes. Josh has still made more mistakes. In the first game, he had to fumble. I think fumbled 3 times, lost 1 fumble. The second game, he had 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. So when you say whoever, I guess, makes a mistake first, that the way that the games are tracked out, that's how that will go. But I want to see the Dolphins do it. They do look nasty, though. I'm a Tua fan. I like me some Tua Tagovailoa, you know what I'm saying? I want you to thrive, big dog. I just need to see it. Show me. Go ahead. Now you want to tape Tuesday. That's crazy.
They said tape Tuesday.
Tape Tuesday. You get your film working, tap in, get your schemes. Get your.
It is. I don't know why you keep saying that, because it is Wednesday. You're absolutely right.
No, I'm saying we could have done this on Tuesday. That's what I wanted. And now we're doing it now. What we doing? It's crazy you had the pause ready.
When they beat, and can you grab show the people off your phone the screenshot? No, your phone. You got the screenshot.
I do indeed. You're right.
Tua has only had 1 300-yard game against the Bills in his entire career.
Bless you.
And in his 300 game, the score was 56-26. Besides that game, he has never thrown over 230 yards. Okay. I'm not expecting him to all of a sudden light up this defense. They are always prepared schematically to cover Tua. Literally, schematically. Like, he has to read the defense, and they're very good with coverage. So I understand the argument and conversation about the pressure.
Bro, you can't see anything on
Well,
there.
just go ahead.
Just call it out. Just call out the start lineup. Yeah,
My
just
bad,
call
I was
it
gonna
out.
give
Ain't
y'all
nobody
the-
gonna be able to read
All right, we got Christian Benford, rookie at the time. Kair Elam on the other side, another rookie corner. You had Teron Johnson in the slot with DeMar Hamlin and Jaquan Johnson as your two safeties.
So you had two backups at corner because the two starters were Dane Jackson and Tre'Davious White, and both were out.
Okay.
You did not have Micah Hyde. You did not have Jordan Poyer.
Are you gonna highlight the starters for
So-
the other two games or no?
What other two games?
They played twice. They played
The
twice in the
wild
regular
card
season and a wild
and-
card game.
Those were losses. Don't care. Like, what are you talking about?
It doesn't.
But the
They
games- but
were
the games
losses.
close.
The games were closer.
Like, it's not like they blew them out.
Those were losses.
Thompson was playing well.
Don't give
Well,
a
Skylar,
damn
Skylar.
about
So
moral
you
victory.
right? Okay, so you don't care
The only
about.
time you actually got a dub,
So you're not going to point
They
out the
weren't
fact
there.
that you had most and not all your starters against a third string quarterback, and he still was able to make plays against that secondary and almost get a win in a wild card game. You're not going to point that out.
I don't care about moral victories. I don't care about moral victories.
But you put in
Hold on,
hypotheticals.
hold on,
I'm
hold
saying
on.
hypothetically. Skylar's
I'm
like,
literally
that's how Tuesday
saying
play.
the
Con-
only time that
con-
you beat me.
Context matters only when you want it to. That's
Okay,
the thing.
no. They only beat them when those guys were not there.
But it's another. It's a new
Argue
season.
that.
It's a new season. It's not.
Argue that. So, but here's my thing. Up
I just wanna see
until
it.
this game, Josh Allen never lost to the Dolphins. He
As-
was undefeated against the Dolphins
As he should, because
until
the
this game.
Dolphins weren't that great.
Okay. And then this game comes and their entire secondary is gone and they lose. Fine. But I don't want to sit here and hear people say, oh, yeah, they can just slice and dice the Bills and this. I honestly don't see it as it's going to be. I would be shocked if it gets over 28 points.
Both teams?
Yeah. I would be shocked if it gets over 28 points. You guys are talking about the number one ranked scoring offense. Guess who's ranked number two? The Bills.
Wow.
Who has the number one? You said the Browns got the number one scoring allowed defense. Guess who's number two? The Bills.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. And now you guys are going to tell
Are we
me.
going to ask? Are we going to ask who they played or
Oh,
not?
no.
Because we asked who they played.
Because
For the
guess
Browns.
what? This is going to be a test for both.
Oh, okay, I just want to make
That's
sure.
what this is about
I
to
just
be.
want to make sure.
Nope.
Because
This
we
is
asked who the Browns played.
Yeah.
We might as well.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is going to be a test for both. We'll see something's got to give.
That's true.
Something's got to give.
One way or the other.
I'm going to go with history and say that history has told me that Sean McDermott has had defenses that has known how to handle Tua and make him confused to hold on to the ball so that we can hit him. That's literally how it always happens.
As
He
you-
pats the
as
ball,
you can.
you confuse him with your coverage and your scheme, and then you get a hit on him. That's how I see it happening. I think they're going to take away his first reads, and then he's going to have to go to his second reads, and that gives you enough time to get a hit on him. That's what I think is going to happen in this game, because honestly, they had a really good game week 1, they had an okay game in week 2, and they had this phenomenal game here in week 3. And I'm like, if Bill Belichick did it with his defense, and this defense is better than Bill Belichick's defense, why would I not think that they can hold them into the 20s as well? Why must I think that's going to be a shootout? The game against the Patriots wasn't a shootout. I don't think this one will be a shootout. Like, I think it's going to be a close, competitive game between the two. I'm open-minded to the Bills losing, even though I'm going to take them. I'm open-minded to them losing. But it's not going to be what this guy keeps on saying, some 380 and 3 tutties by.
Did you forget everything else that I said? That
No,
it was
no,
going to
no,
be
no,
a
no.
4-quarter game.
No.
It's going to come.
Yeah, but it ain't going to be no 350 and 3 tutties from him. That's what I'm
Who
saying.
cares if it ain't? If it's
You
290,
do.
if it's 290 and 2 touchdowns, I
Hold
don't care.
on.
Like
We have it on camera multiple times. This man saying if Tua goes for 300,
yeah,
or something,
because you've been disrespecting Tua.
No.
Now, if he slices up your defense,
he's not gonna slice it
okay,
up.
we'll say that. But if he does, all I'm saying, if he does, we ain't got much to talk about
All right,
until.
and if he
until-
doesn't, then what do you say?
if he got shut down, he got shut down.
Which says what about Tua?
Well, exactly. That's what I want to know.
It doesn't change anything for me about Tua. I still think he's playing great.
Okay, but if
He just ran into a defense on the wrong day. That's all it was. But
It's every day
you're
with
using
them.
this. You're using this as your aha moment that Tua is not who you think you are.
I've been sitting here saying, "Prove it to me, Tua," and then you guys say, "Oh, he
But
beat
he
y'all
can
last
only.
year." So
But
I'm like,
to you,
this is why.
But to you, his only way of proving it is against your team, not against
No.
anybody else he plays.
No, I said get a signature win. This will be your signature win. You guys said last year his signature win was against us, and I said that's BS. If this is your signature win, because that's what you
buck
face.
I mean, but the
That's
offense,
what
but
you
the-
face.
But the offense still, at the end of the day, y'all offense was still a thing, was it not? Like, was it not
No,
good?
they play really good defense against us. They play Josh Allen even in his games that he
But
has.
it's a team win. It's a signature win.
What is?
For the team, for the Dolphins, it's a signature win against the Bills.
If you call that a signature win, I don't.
Well, then-
Because
then we just have two
that's what you're
definitions.
facing. I don't think that's a signature win when you don't have
But it's
half
a
your
team.
defense.
It's a team game. If it's a team game
Shoot.
and you have to beat a team that's supposedly better than yours, it's a signature win for the team.
It's not better when half your defense is gone, bro.
But your offense,
that changes everything.
But it's a two-way street because the offense was there, and the offense played the Miami defense, and they didn't look as good as they usually do. It's a signature win for the team. Tua's on part of that team. This is a signature win for Tua.
Tua wouldn't have put up those points if that defense was out there. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
it's
he
complimentary,
wouldn't
right?
have put up
He wouldn't have
20?
put up. No, he would not.
So he wouldn't have put up 20 points. I mean, maybe
Not early in last year's season.
Maybe,
no,
maybe
not yet. Not yet.
Final score was 21-19.
Yes.
Yeah, he just put up 21 points.
And is it crazy for me to sit here and say he would have put up maybe only 10? Half of that?
So what?
I guess.
86 and a touchdown. No turnovers.
I mean, the
So-
fact that he was able to put up 20 in the road game. Now you could say that Tua progressed from week 3 to then. You could say that and I'm like, okay, cool. But the possibility, it's a possibility. It might not have been likely.
It's
But the
still not likely
possibility-
that he's gonna slice this up.
I didn't say slice up. I just said put up 20 because you said
no. The
he couldn't-
offense can put up 20 now. This offense can put up 20. I don't think they're gonna get into the 30s.
But they did it last year.
What?
Put up 20.
I know that. This defense still wasn't here yet.
He's saying if this defense that he's talking about right now played in this game, they wouldn't have scored 20. So he's using a different barometer to measure the defense that this offense will face. 'Cause it's a
So
different
what he's
defense
saying
than
is the
from week three
defense
last year.
right now is better than the defense last season
In this
that the
game
Dolphins
with
that the Dolphins faced.
Yes.
Christian Benford, Kyrie
Okay,
Irving,
no.
I'm saying this
He put up
defense
20
now-
in the second matchup when those guys played.
They didn't play.
None of those guys played.
Only person who played was Poyer, and Tre'Davious was coming back off his injury. Tre'Davious is now back to being him after his ACL.
Your knees need a little.
Oh, what? That doesn't. What's the problem? Oh, right. Because Tua got a concussion in week 3, and that affected week 15.
Remember
I didn't
when,
say that.
Remember when we brought up Burrow's injury, and what was the response? Sure. But
And
now,
AC
but now,
All right.
but
I
now,
mean,
but now,
Y'all,
But
y'all
now-
weird, bro. Both of y'all, you stretching.
No, but
you-
I think that he is overstretching it because he's saying that we have to have everybody healthy, which doesn't happen a lot in the NFL to begin with.
Which is very
But you
fair.
have to have everybody healthy for them not to score 20 points.
Crazy.
I'm like,
I
well,
said-
dang, if that's the case, then do the Dolphins have a response that, if we would have had Jalen Ramsey, we would win if the Bills win this game?
Everybody. All I said was Jordan Poyer was back, and that Tre'Davious was coming back off injury.
but I'm not talking about that. You said
I said
but
because
you
they
said
had nobody.
You said they wouldn't score 20, and I'm like, no. I
in
think
the
they-
first game, they would not have scored 21. That's what I said. In their first outing, their offense got better through the season. I
But-
said in their first outing,
No, because
they would
I
not
said they scored 27 in the second outing, and I was just like, but he said no, but with this defense right here, they wouldn't have been able to do it. I'm like, I don't know about that.
No, I already said that they're gonna score. It's gonna be in the 20s. That's why I have this game. So I don't know where our disconnect got. Because
I
I'm
don't know.
only talking about the first game. I said the first game. The second game.
No, in the first game, I said that it was unlikely. I said if the whole defense was there, I said you could say it's unlikely for them to score 20, but I'm not saying that they just couldn't.
No, they could score 20.
Sure.
In the second game, I was talking about the first.
No,
He's
I'm
saying
talking
the
about
first
the
is
first.
possible.
Even the first game, I'm
I
like,
disagree.
you can
Uh-oh.
say that it's highly unlikely, but it said they just can't. I'm like, I don't know.
You want to argue semantics? I think it would have been very highly unlikely that they would have put up 21 points if they had their secondary.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Highly
Y'all got
unlikely.
the Dolphins. That's what y'all doing.
He's got Dolphins. He should just take the Dolphins. He should just take the Dolphins.
Oh, you want to take the Bills? Go ahead, take the
I
Bills.
already picked the Dolphins.
Okay, so yeah, they got the Dolphins.
I
My
need to
funny.
see it.
Here's my thing: if the Bills win, they're still not going to be named as the best team in the AFC.
He's the only one that
That's
said
what
that.
They're not
That's
going
for
to be
me.
named the
I
AFC.
said that for me. I said that for me.
If the Bills
I
win,
said-
I still know they're going to be that the majority of people are still going to say the Chiefs are the best team.
I said that for me.
But if the Dolphins win, people will say that the Dolphins are the best team in the AFC.
I said that for me.
Did you hear? No, I'm
But
not
that
talking
makes
about
sense.
you.
But
I'm not talking about
it
you.
makes
More
sense.
likely than not.
It makes sense only because the Dolphins would be the only undefeated team in the AFC.
Not to mention, given
Plus
how
107.
they played off over the last two games, knowing how we are when it comes to just
High-powered offense.
reacting to things, seeing that our offense put up 70, and then they go on the road the next week and they beat a big divisional foe. Of course, people are probably going to walk away saying, yeah, they're
And the
best team.
difference would be with Bills Chiefs is the fact that people would go on history that the Chiefs beat the
different
Bills
standard.
when it matters.
It's a different standard. Right. The Bills are held to a different standard than the Dolphins.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, you know what though?
Tua still doesn't want to play.
No. But here's the thing though. When the Bills beat the Chiefs last year in the regular season, the Bills were the number one team in the AFC.
No.
Yes,
No,
y'all
people
were.
said that we've seen this before. We got to see you do it in the playoffs. That was the narrative. Tell me, Eric, am I wrong?
I feel like that. I see when he talk about framing of the Bills is fairly frequent. I don't.
Some people
remember,
weren't
but
saying
that doesn't
when
sound
y'all
off.
beat the Rams and last season
That
when
don't
y'all
sound
beat
off.
the Rams and when y'all ended up beating the Chiefs in the regular season. I know people said that y'all were there. I won't discount. There's probably a few people.
Definitely did.
There's probably a few people that said we have to see it in the playoffs.
Yes. No,
And
that was the
I
thing.
respect that.
Because it
but
was,
I
to be
know,
the best, you gotta
but
beat the
I
best.
know there were people that said, "Oh, they beat the Rams and they beat the Chiefs. They're the best."
They
team
went
in
on
the
the road
AFC."
and beat the Rams and
and
beat
the
the Chiefs.
By that time,
Yeah.
by week 6, we all discovered that the Rams were buns.
They weren't the same.
But it was you. In order to do it, you have to beat the best. And at that point, because Burrow was also coming off his, so it was the Bengals as well. They had to beat the Bengals and they had to beat the Chiefs in order to beat
How do
the
they have
best.
to beat the Bengals?
Last year. You were talking about last year. I'm telling you about last
The
year.
Bengals beat the
Because the
But
Bengals
they didn't
were the
play.
ones who
Y'all
went
didn't
to the
play each
Super Bowl.
other. Y'all didn't play each other last year.
We did. DeMar Hamlin.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
Y'all,
no,
you
no,
didn't
no.
finish the game.
No.
So by that time, yes.
What I'm saying is those were the two teams that everybody said we had to get through.
No.
Because
One,
the Bengals
Watch-
beat the Chiefs.
like I
Alright,
could. Okay,
listen.
Okay, let me
Watch what happens. We will have this conversation. If the Bills win on Monday, we'll have the conversation.
but-
we'll hear what the narratives are.
But here's
And we'll see.
Here's the thing that I'll say. I feel like once they beat the Chiefs, they were top of the AFC. Obviously, they lost to the Jets, and did y'all lose any other game before that? I think y'all were like
Yeah, we
3
lost to the
losses.
Dolphins.
No, it was the
This
Dolphins. It was Dolphins, Jets, but I thought they.
Oh,
Was,
the
I'm
Vikings.
asking.
The Vikings.
Okay, so the Vikings. So so that's when it's like, okay, now you have to prove it because they lost 2 games that they weren't supposed to lose. So at that point, yes, people's narratives change. But I feel like after y'all beat the Chiefs, y'all were the best in the AFC.
We will see what happens if the Bills should win this game. Monday, we'll see what the narratives are.
All right.
We'll see what the narratives are. So to wrap that up, 2 Dolphins.
I'm going
Oh, you're
Bills.
going Bills and two
Yeah.
Bills.
I need to see
We'll
it.
see where this goes. Like I said, open to them losing. I don't think it's going to be anything of this high-powered thing
It's
at
Teron
all.
Armstead.
I think both defenses are
Exactly.
going to give each
I
other
think they'll-
offensive fit, and it'll go from there.
I think it'll be like last year's second matchup.
I think it'll be lower scoring than that. I don't know if anybody's getting into the 30s.
I think this would be like a 31-27 type of game.
That would be literally 1 point away from that last year's matchup, I think.
That sounds reasonable.
But I think it's more like
I mean, the
He
wild
did
card game was
practice
high
Wednesday.
scoring.
it may be more like 27-24, something like that. Like I
Something
think
like that,
20.
man.
I think 27
That's
is the
right.
high.
Exactly
I
right.
don't think it's.
27 is the high.
I think 27 is the high.
Okay.
Maybe 28, but I don't think anything beyond that.
Well, it'll be an interesting
So,
game.
I think first team to 27-28 wins.
No, this is the same issue. Reason why Teron Armstead didn't practice. That's all. Yeah, that's all I.
It
that's
is
all
crazy
I got.
that the offensive line has been that good with him not playing.
That was what I was going to end it with. Yes.
Is that
Please,
something?
God.
Is that something we can hold against if the pass rush gets there? They didn't have Teron Armstead. Is that a thing we can use?
If you want to use it, sure.
Is it?
I watched my quarterback get sacked 9 times, so I've seen what it looked like.
I'm just
Our
asking.
quarterback got sacked
I'm-
7 times, so he ain't much better.
I'm just
I mean,
asking. Is that an
it's up to you.
excuse that can be used?
If you want to say it off one player, if that's what you want to do, because I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and say that if Von was here, I'm not going to use that. I'm not. That's not in catalog at all. So I mean, I'm excited for what this is the last game
no
without Von,
Armstead,
but
no
Oh,
Jalen Ramsey.
Mm.
I mean,
well, Jalen's. I don't even know what that looks like with Jalen. He
Jalen-
never played it
I don't
down.
think Jalen's going to come back till November or Sunday.
So I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad
December.
thing. Because I don't even know
I
what
mean-
he brings to the table. For all I know, he could end up like J.C. Jackson. Like, I don't know.
Well, he switched teams before, and he ain't know J.C. Jackson. And he ain't know J.C. Jackson. We've
I
seen
don't
that
know.
already.
I don't know.
He
So
switched teams before.
that is
so-
a big question mark. But in the second
no.
matchup,
Definitely different situation.
second matchup at the end of the
We do
season,
that.
Von should be back. Armstead should be back.
Jalen.
Jalen Ramsey should be back. So that should be an even better matchup.
I mean, no, but
All right,
honestly, but this is a pretty fair, even matchup. So
I ain't mad at that.
we're good.
I just wanted to injury report looks the same on both sides. It looks promising. Doesn't look horrible.
Okay.
I'm hoping it stays that way. Hyde has a hamstring, but it's been since last week and he still played. So I think that should be fine. Everybody else, I think, seems healthy. So it should be. This is what I want. I want Waddle there.
Yeah, he's.
I want Waddle. I know he's practicing. I
No
want
excuses.
him there. Yeah, I want
Hey.
best on best. That's all I ask.
A
And we'll get a
A
chant.
I know.
A chant.
I said A Chan.
I heard A chain.
But I said A Chan.
Yeah,
Hey, look,
A-Chan.
see what he want to
I
hear.
heard it.
All
You
right,
wanna hear
all
it.
right. I was making
Hey,
sure.
all right,
I'm
man.
making
Hey,
sure. I
you-
gotta make sure he has respect on his
Hey,
name.
it's always hey. You run for 200 yards, you get respect. for your name.
Damn
All right.
Skippy.
Well, that's gonna do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Got a little heated at the end. Definitely got carried away, but
Love
you know,
that.
That
Love
is how
that.
we do things. That's just a snippet. I'm sure we're gonna have plenty more of that. For people who go ahead and get our Patreon, what we're gonna do for our Patreon people is we're gonna extend this and we're gonna talk about the rest of the matchups that we didn't talk about, just so they have something to go back to on our Patreon. If you want to sign up for that, you can follow us on OutSpoken TV there. So for now, my name is Cordell.
Marcus.
He robbed.
Deuce, come on, baby.
All right.
Bro, hit that subscribe button.
Oh yes, please hit that thing.
Aggressive. You don't gotta
Hit
do
it,
that
like-
aggressively,
like-
but
Like, hit it.
nah, you can just click it. Just click it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Think about your computer, your software.
Thank
it's not
y'all.
that deep. We appreciate you. Peace and blessings. Come on. All
All
right.
right, Patreon people, it's us. We here together.
Oh damn.
Let's
hold
have
on.
at it.
There gotta be something better. Call them than Patreon people.
I
They
know.
gotta-
We gonna get there. Our
The
Patreon
people's
subscribers,
the-
our
the-
patrons. They're our patrons. That's technically what they're called.
We gonna get our now.
But we'll
together.
figure
We'll
out
roll
where
with
we
that
go.
for now.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's
yeah.
technically the
Yeah.
correct terminology.
Dog, we
We
didn't even
appreciate
fucking
you being
pick the
here.
damn Thursday night.
We didn't. We didn't even get to it.
Yeah. Nah.
Edit that
I
out.
guess we're.
Man, I ain't editing shit.
All right,
It's all good.
Jesus.
All right, so
now I gotta, you know what?
You gotta subscribe to get your bio. Yo, Jahmyr Gibbs, love is in the air.
all right,
All
Packers Lions. Let's just go ahead and talk about it real quick right now.
I mean, honestly, I think whoever wins this game will be the leaders in the NFC North. You know, Packers have usually had the division for a while now, but a lot of people picked the Lions to be the new leaders of the NFC North this season. You know, it's in Lambeau. Obviously, the Lions beat the Packers in Lambeau last season to kick them out of the playoff spot. Part of me thinks the Lions gonna get their get back again. They just gonna go back in Lambeau and win the game. So I think Lions, Jared Goff gonna do his thing.
This is a statement game for Detroit.
Absolutely.
You went into Lambeau last year. You beat them to prevent them from making the playoffs, to knock them out of playoff contention. Huge win, emotional win. But this one is different because there's no Rodgers now. So now you're able to just kick the door in and say, it's our division now. This is a prime opportunity. In prime time, in Lambeau, you got a chance right now to really claim your throne in the NFC North. So this is a statement game for Detroit.
Green Bay is number 10 in passing yards allowed per game, but in rushing yards allowed per game, it looked like they in the bottom 5. So is this a Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah, they struggle.
Is this one of them? We've been waiting for Homeboy to get touches ever since I seen Homeboy run over whoever it was on the Chiefs Thursday night when he got one of them 6-7 touches, however many. I thought he was all speed. I didn't know he had a little pop behind the pads. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope that they feed that man and get him his carries, especially in a defense that we've seen is susceptible to running backs in a rushing offense. So and again, I don't know when David Montgomery's coming back. I know Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, they're still questionable, still shaky.
They did practice.
Playing on Thursday.
They did.
Doesn't help, but encouraging sign. But you're absolutely right. The Lions need to go ahead and reach that bar that we've crowned them. I don't know if it's justifiably so or whatever, but they need a complete offense. We need to see Jahmyr Gibbs unlocked.
Right.
They're passing. It is what it is. Jared Goff has looked good throughout the last 10, 12 games. Been efficient, not turning the ball over. They got weapons. We've seen awakening from the Khalif Raymonds and Josh Reynolds. Been productive. Like, Jared Goff is making, average wide receivers look good. Putting them in positions to succeed. We always talk about quarterbacks elevating their plays. Jared Goff has done what he needed to do for these wide receivers. Let's see if they can put it together.
Also, Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta looking good.
Rookie tight end look good.
You were talking about your rookie tight ends. You just pick all the wrong ones. Crazy.
That's true.
I pick all the wrong tight ends?
Of all the rookie tight ends you brought up, Sam Laporta wasn't one of them. But in terms of your fantasy football, his fantasy football strategy, he was looking to get the damn.
They were the top 2 tight ends. I don't know what you want from me. It was Kincaid and Michael Mayer. I was going off the professionals. He wasn't being talked about the same way that those 2 were being talked about. I'm sorry. I had nothing negative to say about him. I think I'm taking the Packers. I'm actually excited about it. Christian Watson's finally going to come out here, and that's my guy right there. He out here.
That's a special wide receiver talent right there.
That's a 1 and 1 in 1,000 right there. 1 in 1,000.
Let's see if he can amount to it. This man was showing me Calvin Johnson tape when talking about Christian Watson. That's a high ball.
I said that the athletic grading, the only person who was graded higher was Calvin Johnson.
I didn't like that framing. It didn't sit right in my spirit. That's Megatron.
I'm just telling you what it was.
It's double teamed on the goal line.
How dare you?
He's not wrong. I just didn't like it.
That's better than Julio Jones. I was like,
I'm telling you what was graded. I didn't make the grades,
guys. You said Christian Watson better than Julio Jones?
That's crazy. I feel like Ryan Clark right now. I feel like Ryan Clark when he said, who did he say was more talented?
Pickens was more talented than Jordan.
Justin Jefferson. This is what's coming out right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Ain't nobody said he was a better wide receiver than Julio. Let's
Julio
get that
ran a
out your mind
4.37
right
with a broke foot. That's
Nobody
crazy.
said.
Broken bone in his foot.
Nobody said that he's better than Julio. So you could just. I said he graded athletically better.
Damn. We ain't got no ball
Athletically,
talent around
when they're
that-
doing
that
the
bad
combine
for you.
stuff and stuff,
Next
when
time.
they're looking at
the
his-
measurements,
yeah,
and the 40 time,
and
and
all
arm
of that,
length.
yes, the
all that
jumping,
stuff.
like all of that. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't like it.
God damn,
He just.
that's all I'm
He
saying.
had to go there though. He had to go there.
But
He
yeah,
was doing it for clicks.
Don't you bring the name Quintoris Lopez Jones into this conversation unless you're talking about his greatness.
I didn't bring him to the conversation.
All right.
I said Calvin Johnson and
I was
Christian Watson.
I was
never
instigating.
said
I
the
did
word
that.
Julio.
That was me. Well,
I
he
never
did it
said the
first,
words.
and then I followed up.
Never said his name. Not once.
We just know how you operate. Your shoulders get tight.
I'm definitely excited if he does get to play. I am also a little weary. I just don't want them to bring him back too soon. I think it's been a month now that he's had this injury, so I'm hoping that's been.
Well, he hasn't played. Yeah, he hasn't played at all.
Not even in the preseason.
This goes back to the preseason. Yeah,
Right, but the injury happened.
training camp.
in
Leave.
no,
Wasn't
it
it?
happened. No, preseason games were being played when he got his injury. I
He
don't
did-
know if
he
played
did play in the.
it.
He played in the opener
Okay.
against the Bengals. It
Yeah.
might have been that game actually.
So
So it
yeah.
might have been early in the preseason.
So yeah, as long as he's back 100, then roll him on out there because last year he had the same problems. Hamstring issues kept him out for a good portion of the
It's a common
season.
thing
And his body can't keep up.
for
man.
receivers, man. That's a common thing.
Yeah, so
It's too
That
fast.
verse, this is-
but I want to see
Too fast for the
I want to
body.
see if having Christian Watson back and Aaron Jones back. Now I get to see with this complete offense if Christian Aaron Jones is also questionable. So if they are both back, then having them seeing this complete offense with Dobbs and I don't want to disrespect him. There's another wide receiver. Jaden Reed. Yes, seeing what all three of the three wide receivers and that combo in the backfield with Dillon and Jones, I'm very optimistic.
Luke Musgrave's been productive too.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
David Bakhtiari, his health, his availability is also important in this game.
They have two missing off.
You got Aiden
Elgin
over there.
still hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have Aiden over there on the other side, and Aiden is coming off a 2-sack game, I believe, against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson is starting to definitely round into form as a premier pass rusher, man. So you need that top tier left tackle out there on the field. It's up in air. His status is up in air as well, and I think that's going to play a lot in this outcome.
I said my
Okay,
piece.
I didn't remember. I knew someone didn't.
I thought the Lions.
Well,
that
yeah,
was
he
also
said
one of the
his
Lions.
piece,
I
too.
definitely,
Okay.
yeah. Amon
Oh,
Ra,
good.
shout out Amon Ra. Come on, fight on, baby. You know how we do.
All
but
right.
I-
so
USC
In terms of
fan
picking,
now?
I've always been a USC fan. This
So
ain't nothing new.
Since when?
I literally say I fight on all the time. I be throwing up the V. Come on
Since
now.
I don't hear.
Do I not do that?
who
I do that all the time.
who you taking?
It's a great question. I'll go Lions.
Lions.
Come on.
All right. So Lions. Lions. So I'm by myself on Packers. All right.
We could have all done it together. Messed up the flow. It's crazy.
All right.
Y'all know the fight song?
Tampa,
No.
Monday Night Football,
Next
coming
time.
off a short week, going up against the Saints. Obviously, Derek Carr goes down. Jameis Winston steps back in, facing his old team. How we feel about Bucks at Saints?
Oh, Jameis. I want
Monday Night
Jameis to win so
Football?
Yeah,
bad.
They're coming off
Monday Night Football.
I'm like, what? But nah.
Jameis need to do better.
Oh,
He's one of the.
that's a tough one, man.
It's because they getting Alvin Kamara back.
Kamara's coming.
Honestly,
They
he
don't-
might be the X factor in this one. It's just having Alvin.
They
Kamara
don't
back.
have to lean on Jameis with Alvin being back. Even if they want to give Alvin, just get him in space. We know how he do. He be doing them little them drills with the weights and the balance and all that. Just give him the ball, see what he do with it.
Yeah, I'll just say Saints. I'll just go for home field advantage. They'll win the game based off of that.
Bucks defense could probably confuse
I
Jameis though.
wanna, yeah, man. I really, honestly, I'm teetering back and forth on this one. Like, I really think the Bucks have an opportunity to go into New Orleans and get a win here.
They do.
Yes, they do.
I agree.
If Baker's clean with the football, of course that's going to make a ton of difference. One thing to keep in mind: Devin White was nursing a groin injury, or has been nursing a groin injury for a little while, and it kind of sort of hindered him a little bit this past week against Philly. And he talked about it, the pick that he had in that game. If you guys noticed, he wasn't running full speed, and he said it was because the groin was aggravating him. So that's one thing to keep in mind with Kamara coming back. That matchup on the field of Kamara and the Bucs linebackers with Devin White. It's a tough one. This really is. Honestly, I think I'm leaning towards Tampa here. I'm going to take the Bucs with the upset. I think they go in and steal one in New Orleans.
I think I'm still gonna go Saints. I feel like we forgot who Alvin Kamara is. This is someone. And he had 5 touchdowns in the game last year. I feel like he still got it. Like it's not anything out the ordinary. They just going to lean on him, and hopefully he meets that challenge. It's gonna be tough. The Bucs defense has never really wavered. They had a little moment last year where they was questionable. This year they've been solid. That matchup, like you said, between Devin and Kamara, if that groin is a problem, you know what I'm saying? The Saints also, watching how their secondary looks with Mike Evans, we know the history between Marshawn and Mike. That's always fun.
Mike Evans had.
But he don't have that same help behind him with Marcus May being suspended.
No.
So, something to look at. But it's always going to be interesting. Fun battle.
Do you guys think Kamara just comes back and he's Alvin Kamara again, or do you guys think he may need
the way the players have been trending? No, but like I hope he is.
I would like to give him. I think for running
back.
backs it's easier to just come back in because you're just running the ball and you've been training running the ball.
Running the ball.
It's just like
I think
he's only been out for 3 games. It's not, he played in the preseason, so
that helps.
That
helps.
Yeah,
the fact that he played in the preseason and he was there, so it's not like I don't think they're gonna need to limit his touches because
he was in training camp.
He's been there, yeah. He was throughout there. He
just couldn't play.
Yeah, so I think he should be able to be plug and play. I'm also, if Derek Carr was playing, I would take Saints easy.
The thing is, like, I
trust the Saints defense.
I don't think, like, from Derek Carr to Jameis isn't that big of a drop off to me. So that's why
It was enough for the Saints
Yeah, to lose that game.
So I will.
Just keep it consistent.
Yeah. So I will. I'm gonna take the Bucs.
Wow.
I'll take the Bucs. I mean, on Sunday when we're doing our picks, I may end up switching it, but right now I'm gonna take the Bucs. It's something we need to think more on.
This may be a Chris Godwin game.
Yeah.
This may be a Chris Godwin game. Yep.
All right, Bengals at Titans. Bengals finally get their first dub. Titans coming off a really bad loss to the Browns. So are we getting rolling? Is Burrow just gonna get rolling?
I mean, this is the matchup for it. This is the matchup for it against that Tennessee defense, against that Tennessee secondary. Yeah, can they get that passing game going? They are top 5 in rushing defense. I'm talking about Tennessee, but they are 28th in passing defense. So if there's ever a game for Joey B and his boys to get on track, it's this one. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. But
Jamal
Yeah, I
had
think-
100 last game. So.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Titans, the only way to win is if Derrick Henry just puts the team on his back at this.
and he hasn't normally looked like himself so far this year.
But it's like
Titans
they
outpaced him.
they haven't
Like,
really
outsmacked him.
been. Yeah, they haven't really been. It's like they want change of pace,
Right.
but it's like, and I get actually that maybe it's because they're down so much that they just have to start throwing it. So Tajay is just the better option in that respect.
Right.
But it's like they need to be able to get him the ball early and often
Mm-hmm.
and get him going, because if not, then it's just one of the highest paid running backs for what? When
For
he's
what?
in terms of running in between the tackles, he's the best in the NFL to me.
Right.
So,
Less
but
than 3.5 a carry this year. What's that about? What we putting it on? Are we putting it on him? We putting it on offense? Is he getting older?
Well, the offensive line has been banged up, so that's probably it. It's just like yards before contact. He's probably just. It's kind of like Najee Harris when you're not getting a whole lot of
one
room.
of the worst in the league.
As that big of a guy, you have to get some type of room to get ahead of steam. Because if not, then those guys aren't shifty enough and quick twitch enough to be able to just start moving.
This isn't the first time he had to deal with that though.
Yeah.
A few years ago when he went off, he didn't have Taylor Lewan for a lot of the time. Like he was still doing that.
You're a younger back.
That's what I'm asking. Is it on him being 29 now? This is age 29.
I mean, he's gotten a lot of carries, like a lot.
That they feed that man as they should.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
that's the best
but
way
you have to know, it's like
league.
you gotta at least give him time to get to the line of scrimmage before getting some contact. Like at least
that'd be nice.
Him, you know.
But he may do before. That's what I was saying.
I'm taking Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go Bengals.
I mean, I was a believer in the Titans, but
You haven't gone to the playoffs?
I don't remember.
Oh man, I hope not.
There's no way. I think we all had one team out the AFC
Out the
South.
South, I think
we had one. I'm gonna go Bengals
I
too.
think.
I want to pick the Titans. Mike Vrabel will be having his boys ready to play.
Yeah, man.
Alright. And then you taking the Bengals as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Raiders at Chargers.
Man,
Raiders coming off. Raiders lost. This
Yeah,
past week,
Raiders
right?
lost to the Steelers.
Raiders lost to. Oh yes, the Steelers. Thank you. And the Chargers got their first dub. Both are standing at 1-2. AFC West divisional game. Where are we going? I'll start and I'll just simply say I'm going Chargers.
I don't know if you guys see it, smell it, hear it. But the wheels are starting to come off a little bit with the Raiders, especially with Devontae coming out this week saying that, you know, he doesn't see the team applying any type of winning mentality. So he's not going to wait. He said he's not going to wait all day or wait all year for them to develop that it needs to happen. So he basically called the team out for the most part. It's starting to, this usually happens, that star receiver is coming out and saying, I don't like the way things are going.
I don't understand why we thought that it would be any different. Josh McDaniels.
We didn't think it, but for the guy that wears their jersey, of course he feels it's going to be different.
He went there to play with Derek Carr.
He did. And now Derek is gone.
There, so
he got Jimmy damn G.
And now Jimmy G may not even be
It
there.
didn't matter who it was.
They're in the same tiers, or
They were still going to be.
But listen, Devontae played himself. He was the one talking. He could be a Hall of Famer. And Derek Carr, he was the one talking.
I mean, he can be a Hall of Famer. Who? Devontae Adams.
No.
Oh, you're saying Derek Carr can be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Oh,
he said that. That's
he
came
out saying he sees qualities in him about like Aaron Rodgers. Like he's
he did say that.
Yeah, he was the
They're
one.
college teammates. Like
No.
I don't care.
But I think
you played yourself.
I think if Derek Carr was still there, he'd feel better about it. But because he's not, it's like,
so
what am I doing there for?
Look, bro,
100 catches, 1,500 yards, 14 tutties last year.
if you can get yourself out of
You can't
Las
pay
Vegas.
the man.
Don't do it. You better
can't
not.
pay
You
him.
better not. You better
would
not.
welcome you.
Pay the man.
We would welcome you.
You can't.
You gotta
pay
take a
the
pay
man.
cut.
But
But listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't want money and win.
Tyreek Hill doing it.
One or the other.
Him taking a pay cut doesn't guarantee a Super
Tyreek
Bowl.
Hill ain't done it yet. He
Tyreek-
left. He got his money, but he ain't. The
he
Chiefs
winning.
won.
He
No,
winning.
the Chiefs won.
You
He ain't
haven't
winning.
won.
I know we haven't, but if we get him, we will. That's when you gotta take a pay cut.
He said, "Look, if we get you, we winning."
Oh, we winning.
Like,
So that's what I'm saying. But you
On
gotta take a
paper,
pay
that's
cut.
very scary.
oh,
Are y'all able to keep him and Stephon?
But he gotta take a pay cut. That's what I'm saying. You can't get both. Like at this point,
Yeah.
if you
He's
wanted
gotta
to
stay
go,
healthy.
That man gonna play for food
listen.
in Buffalo.
like,
Food in here.
Listen,
We'll
it
feed
don't
you.
matter if you want to go to any winning, every winning team. None of them got no money. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want
Hey,
to
that's
win,
the case, bro.
you gonna have to.
Just go to the
Yeah.
Chiefs, bro.
Yeah, DeAndre found
Hey,
that
look,
out.
if he's gonna
Nah,
take,
I'd be
if he's gonna
pissed.
take a pay cut, just go to the Chiefs. At least you know they gonna.
DeAndre found that out the hard way this offseason. That none of the top teams got money.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wanted. He wanted to get money,
Yeah.
and he wanted to win.
Yeah.
And he was like, dang, I can't get both.
Exactly.
Because the Chiefs looking at him like, hey, bruh,
We ain't
I ain't got it, though.
Yeah.
Holla at me next week, though. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that check might go through. Maybe.
I feel like I hadn't seen no D-Hop highlights. I hadn't seen no nothing.
He's in purgatory. Like, he's in Tennessee. We all knew this. He landed in Tennessee. We're like, that ain't gonna
wide receivers go to die.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus. Not to die.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's a sad time. But
it is.
So is it safe to then say that it's clean sweep Chargers around?
Yes.
Chargers
Yes.
all around?
Yes.
Sir?
I really want to pick the Raiders.
You do?
All of these games, I feel
Gross.
somebody gonna sneak and get.
Hey, but just
get
go
one
ahead
of
and
these
pick
jokes. No, that's not my one. I'm gonna go Chargers. This not my.
You don't have any upsets this week?
All right.
No, I'm definitely.
Well, hold
I'm
on.
gonna figure out which
We
one.
got 3 more games. 3 more games to get into.
Before Monday night.
Yes.
Okay.
One of them we don't have to get into.
I mean, there's 4 more games technically.
Man.
One of them we don't have to
Yeah,
get into.
3.
But a few of them, you know.
Hey, look. We have to because the Cardinals showed us that you should respect them.
We don't have to get into that game.
Cardinals 49ers. Could
Niners.
they do it again?
Niners.
Could they do it again?
No.
Niners.
Niners.
You
Move
don't
on.
need 2 upsets in a row.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
On the road in
Yeah.
San Fran? What do you think this is?
Listen,
I really
if
wanna-
this
Hey,
was last week y'all would have sat here and said, "Quit Cowboys."
No,
Cowboys,
we
move
would
on.
have.
We
And the
We
Cardinals
did.
We
We
did.
did.
And exactly, and the Cardinals
Do
did.
you have anything
Pick
to say
'em.
about James Conner?
Huh?
You have anything to say about Josh
But y'all-
Dobbs?
No.
Huh?
Pick him.
I just feel like we should talk about it. I mean,
No,
I
no.
pick them.
But
We should talk
y'all
about
was just saying the 49ers are the most complete best team in the NFC.
Yeah. And
Then they ain't
also-
losing-
I
they ain't
also
losing
said
this
that
team.
I also said the Cowboys were right there behind them.
And they lost to this team. So I just discredited the
I just
Cowboys as
want to
being a top
know.
team.
I just want to know.
Oh, that's how you say
So,
it?
what
Yeah.
percentage chance would you guys get?
They ain't better
Or
than the
can we
Eagles,
have a
that's all I'm
conversation
saying.
and say, what do the Cardinals need to do to win this?
Pray.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
No. The Cardinals, if the Cardinals want to win this game, Josh Dobbs, for one, the offensive line has
That's all
to
I'm saying.
neutralize
Let's
the
talk about
pass rush. And then for 2, Josh Dobbs got to go crazy against those San Francisco
Josh Dobbs
corners.
has to show up
The
to
corners.
Levi
So,
Stadium
hold on.
somehow,
the
some way.
corners are the weak link of the,
Hold on.
of the
So, are
49ers
you guys
defense.
saying that they have to play better than they played against the Cowboys?
You have to play
If
different.
they played the same, but if they played at the same levels they played against the Cowboys, could they win this game? That's what I want to
No.
know.
No. Yeah.
Josh Dobbs has to somehow, some way, take the field in regular uniform and things of that nature. However, when you glance and you see that he looks like Patrick Mahomes, then at that point it's like, oh, they got a chance now.
Wait.
They got a chance.
I give him
That was a crazy
playoff
jump.
Nick
Where it's
Foles.
like, wait, isn't
I
that
give him
Dobbs?
playoff Nick Foles. Playoff Nick Foles.
Playoff Nick Foles ain't gonna save the. Ain't gonna do the. No.
Okay.
Niners.
Yeah, I'm trying to
No
feed into
percentage,
this.
Nothing. No
percentage?
No hope.
I'll give him.
If God is the starting number 1 wide receiver 1 for Arizona, they got a chance.
I'll give him like an 8-9% chance.
8.
Yeah, I give him
8%.
that.
8-9%.
Wow, you wild.
They're a professional
So,
team.
what are we saying? 30-point blowout?
Absolutely.
Nah, I ain't got
I'm going that far.
that.
I say I go.
20. I'll
Unless
go
God
20.
is getting off that bus at Levi Stadium, it's 30
I'll
point
go
blowout.
20 points, but not.
I was gonna say maybe like 13, 14, 15.
I'll give
I'll go
it
13.
I'll give it 13, 14 as well. I think Dobbs is going to surprise people. I think he's just going to keep getting a little better as he continues to go through this thing.
It might be.
I think them boys.
Wow,
because I feel
I think
this
how
is
many
the
points are
classic,
the Cardinals gonna score?
This is the
a good
classic.
question.
This is the classic. You have that one game. No one expects you to win. No one expects you to show up. You're so much on cloud 9 right now
That's fair.
that next week you
You hit reality.
yes.
So let me ask you this: who has a better chance of winning? Cardinals at 49ers or Patriots at Cowboys?
Patriots at Cowboys.
Not even a question.
Yes.
Not even a
Yes.
question.
Patriots
But
at
that
Cowboys.
isn't
crazy.
as bad as a question.
Because Cowboys
It's
have
really
holes that we can clearly see. 49,
got
40.
holes. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but the run.
I thought that the Cardinals.
You
if
think the Cardinals are
and
better than the Patriots?
If the Cardinals and the Patriots play each other, I would say that
I would
the
pick the
Cardinals.
Patriots to win that.
Yes. I think the
That's not a bad
I think the
comp.
Cardinals
That's what I was.
exposed.
But the
Okay,
Patriots
Tom.
have Bill Belichick.
I think
Okay.
the
And
I
And he
think
knows
the-
how to
I think
he
the-
knows how to make teams one dimensional.
I think the Cardinals exposed something that we may see as a season-long issue for Dallas, and that's their run defense. And this Patriots offense, going out this offseason to get Zeke Elliott to pair him with Ramondre Stevenson, they obviously want to run the football. This is if they don't want to run the football in this game, then something ain't right.
So you got the Patriots winning?
Hell no.
Oh.
You just asked us.
I was asking.
What's the likely one we're going to go with? I would likely go with that one as an upset.
Patriots.
But I ain't picking the Patriots in this one. Absolutely not. No way.
No, I don't think the Patriots gonna score enough points.
Absolutely not.
That's where I'm at.
Mac Jones going to be down bad.
In hell.
Yes.
Lord Jesus.
It's going to be nasty.
Oh,
All right,
baby.
Well, let's see if we got a little bit of
But
hope
not
over
really.
here. Chiefs at Jets.
Come on, man. What we doing?
Chiefs.
What are we talking about?
Zach Wilson ain't scoring no.
Come on.
Let's ask the question again. Who has the more likelihood of winning?
The Patriots.
Oh, wow. Still the
Patriots.
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 It's still the Patriots.
That's still the right answer. Absolutely.
Like, the Cowboys have shown me after last week that I just can't be picking them and have the utmost confidence.
I actually think
I
think the Jets have the best chance.
Okay. I feel like this is a
course.
game right now.
What you mean? Of
Where-
course. I don't even know what that means.
I feel like
you
right
don't like
where,
the, you don't like
No,
the
no,
Chiefs.
no, 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 no.
where
I
the where the
respect
where
hell
the
out of
where the Jets are what,
How do you see that?
1 and 2, right?
Hmm?
The Jets are 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
I feel like the Jets are in a boxing match, and they're on the ropes, and their blows are coming.
Coming or
And,
landing?
they're coming and landing.
All right.
And their trainer is sitting in the corner thinking,
Pause. Boom!
he got that one. I gave that one. He got that one.
Woo!
Earned that one. Your first one. I'm proud of you. And their trainer is sitting in the corner.
Why are y'all all children? That's really what I want to gather. I really
Their
don't
trainer is
understand.
sitting in the corner right now thinking, like, should I throw the towel in? Because this is getting ugly. Like, there's nothing positive about the Jets right now. Your quarterback is... Your Broadway Joe is still questioning whether or not this guy should play for them ever. Okay? They still not running the football consistently enough. Even though you went out and got Dalvin Cook, you got Breece Hall back healthy. Garrett Wilson is not Garrett Wilson, and that's part of because the question
They gotta
about
get him
the
the ball.
quarterback, right?
I wouldn't say it's
Their
Garrett Wilson.
defense has looked okay, but Sauce hasn't looked like Sauce this year.
Nah, he hasn't.
Just this team, Robert Saleh, the way Robert Saleh is answering these questions in press conferences, he looks like a man that's just like, I don't know. I feel like one day somebody gonna ask him a question and he's really gonna say, I don't know. I really don't.
To be honest, hold on. Before we go further, this man
Your
said
defense is
that
being
he thought the
Yes.
Jets had the best chance
He
to
did.
win.
Yes.
How do you believe so when they've never
thank
scored
you.
20 points?
I love the answer.
And the Jets,
I answer that.
the Jets' offense is stinks. The Chiefs' defense is actually
Decent.
top 10.
Actually pretty good.
And you think they're gonna? The offense ain't gonna score 20.
Best chance is what I said.
Do you think the Chiefs are gonna score 20?
I think that it's very plausible that the Chiefs don't score 20.
No.
First of all, the Chiefs' offense hasn't looked spectacular,
That's fair.
right? Secondly,
But
I
you-
think.
Okay.
But
I-
without
hold
Travis
on,
Kelce
hold
in the
on.
first game.
Hold on, and even in their second game against the Jags, they didn't.
But
Just coming back.
But at least
coming back.
he
from
didn't have
injury.
any. Oh, he did have any.
Yes, he
Sorry.
did.
But can
Yeah.
you before you continue, can you at least look at the Chiefs and make an exception and say, you know what, they haven't looked like themselves, but I know in my mind they're going to.
They just scored 41 points.
They did.
Yes, but okay.
34 in the first half.
I understand. This is what I'm saying. I think that the Chiefs' offense and the way that they run their offense, and I think it's very similar in ways to the way that the Bills have with theirs.
Yep.
And what I'm saying is that's not a good matchup. Like the Jets' defense is a very good matchup against our styles of offense. So if the Jets' defense comes out and plays like they played in Week 1, yeah, like that's why I'm giving them a chance. Not sitting here saying, because obviously we acknowledge that Josh played really bad, right? And I'm not saying Mahomes is going to play really bad, but I can see this causing fits for an offense that's already been slowly chugging, that they can hold them under 20. The question then just becomes on the offensive side of things, and I don't have
That's
anything
fair.
for that.
I'm just saying their defense
The
matches
Jets have
up
played these.
very well against their offense.
He's not wrong.
That's all.
It's really.
I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm just giving credit to the Jets defense and saying that that's just.
The energy around the Jets is
I know.
nasty.
I know.
At this point, to say that the Chiefs can't score 20 against the Jets.
I didn't say they can't. I said
Okay,
I'm just saying
the
that the
probability
Jets defense
that they
can.
could.
If the Jets are going to win this game, that's what's going to have to happen.
And I think they
That's
can
what-
do
that's
that.
I just feel
I
like
can't
there's
see
so
it.
many.
I
I just feel like
can't
there's
see
so
it.
many things that has to go right for the Jets in this game.
Just like it
Like
went
you
for the
have
Bills.
to, you got to run the football. You have to run the football effectively. Zach Wilson has to stay turnover free. The defense has to create some turnovers.
That's what teams
the,
gotta
off-
do.
the offensive line has to be as stable as they've ever been. There's too
'Cause
many
Chris
things
Jones
that
is
have to go
coming.
right. Too many things that have to go right for them in order for them to win this game.
I think they made some progress. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's a game. That's all I'm saying. I'm taking the Chiefs.
That's
I'm
fair.
taking the Chiefs.
That's fair.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is more of a fight than anybody actually thought it would be, because the defense may show up for
fair.
this opponent.
That's
The
fair.
defense may be like, "Hey, yo, no, we shutting this dude down." Like they may
That
come
was a
out
long
for
list,
that.
though, of what they got to do right.
It
It
is.
a long
It is.
list.
Since it's the
Long
list
list.
they had
It-
against the Bills.
I wouldn't be surprised if it
Running
looked like
game went right.
an-
Zach Wilson, no turnovers.
Yeah.
Special teams
Michael
scored.
Carter was yelling.
Had
Wilson was yelling.
turnovers,
Fans
like,
losing
yeah,
their teeth.
it
was all over.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was an ugly game like the Patriots Jets game, like something ugly like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Not saying that their offense is good. Like I'm just saying. Like, I'm trying to be careful with my words here, that people don't think
This is a
that
big-
I'm saying
It's a
something
big ass. This is a
horrible.
big
But
ass.
like a low-scoring game
Look,
like
look.
that.
Man.
He's
That's
like,
what
all
I'm
these
saying.
things gotta go right. But the Patriots against the Cowboys, don't that many things gotta go right.
That's crazy.
All right. Last game,
Uh-oh.
Rams at Colts.
Oh.
I don't know what the word is on Richardson. Is he still out?
I'm not sure.
I think
No. Steichen came out today and said that he practiced today, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking there? 1-2 the Rams, 2-1 Colts. Colts coming off of their victory against the Ravens. Rams coming off a loss to whom I can't remember at the moment in time.
the Bengals.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
So
I'm gonna go Rams.
I'm going Rams too.
I think Rams bounce back.
Same.
Yeah. I like what the Rams defense. The Rams defense is looking more sturdy. We forgot about Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
We hadn't.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
weird
we didn't
to say
forget.
that.
There
We
was just
didn't
nothing.
forget,
There was
but
nothing to talk about.
he hadn't been.
Yeah, that's it. He hasn't done it. He didn't do anything of note to talk.
Like I think that Aaron Donald's at a point in his career when he gets double teamed, he can't get past those as well.
he
as
thinks he's
used
lost his
to.
step.
Yeah,
I feel like he's definitely since whatever time, at least
since
like
the Super Bowl.
6,
Since the Super Bowl.
he's been double teamed the most of any player.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was 63.
I
64,
absolutely
It's a
love.
lot.
something stupid.
I absolutely love the duo of Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell. Like they have been playing some ball so far this year. Cannot wait. Again, I've said it before on the show. I cannot wait to see what that offense looks like when Cooper Kupp is back. They may be able to put up some points when Kupp is back on the field, man. For real.
I don't think they ran the ball well on Monday.
No.
Yeah, honestly, they haven't
didn't.
ran the ball well
At
really
all.
this season.
Yeah, they have.
But honestly, they haven't ran the
Which-
ball well since the Super Bowl. And
Which
even then,
is
it's not like it was
which
dominant
is
then.
which makes
Right.
what you're seeing from Stafford and his young receivers even more impressive. The fact that they've literally been one dimensional for 3 weeks and they're still been able to put up yards and make some plays. So,
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, they still do try and run the ball, so the play action and stuff makes it. You have to respect it at least.
Yeah. Right.
I'm taking the Rams as well. Anthony Richardson. I think he's gonna make it interesting, but I do think I like the Rams defense a little bit more, and I like the Rams offense more because I trust Stafford more than Richardson at this moment in time. So, all right, cool.
That's it.
For all of our patrons, thank you guys. That is it. We got into all the games, so all is well. Thank you. Till next time. Also, again, make sure that you're liking and subscribing, following us on Twitter, following us
on all socials. We'll have more of our socials up as we continue to go through this. And then don't forget, Monday night, we're live for a countdown. So, from Cordell,
Marcus.
Hey, Rob.
Deuce.
No one calls you that.
Deuce. Horns down.
thank y'all.
Come on now.